Hello, screeners. How are you doing? It's me, the one AJ Anthony Jordan.
And me, Double V, the Viceroy Verisimilitude. Me too, Nico Lurot. How we doing, all my Nicoholics?
Hey, everyone. Apologies for a slight delay. About a minute, actually. We normally start at 8:35. So, yeah.
It's only a minute. Okay, we're good.
We're good. I know it says 8:30, but hey, it's just a bit of a mad run around. So we're good. We're good. How is everybody? What's the house saying right now?
It's a mad run around indeed. I haven't even got my fucking images ready.
You know what?
Bro, if I could tell you that work stopped literally about 10 minutes ago, I literally finished work at 8:22. My wife, Anya, had this beautiful fish dish cooked for me with like this nice spinach and feta sauce. It's the sort of thing that needed to be enjoyed. And I've literally just gone like the fucking cookie monster to cookies going nom, 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 and be like, cool, bye.
Yeah, bro, I get it.
Fucking awful.
Yeah. Yeah, one of those mad weeks. So let's kick off with a few comments while we're here. Francis,
who's in the house, AJ? Tell me. I can't even watch
Francis saying, I've never realised Olivia Newton-John had been in Eurovision competition, let alone in the same year as ABBA. I think I knew she was. I didn't know it was in the same year as ABBA. But yes, we do have to kick off with RIP, Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag for me because you know my feelings about Greece. But if we put, my feelings about the movie aside, the reality is that this is a woman who's left her mark on Hollywood.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
She's legend, I don't know, but she's definitely going to go down as, immortal.
There was this other film that she's meant to be like really famous. I can't remember the name of it. And actually, there was one that was, I think, going to be on here on the list for this week had I been able to see it. I'm not going to pretend I know much of Olivia Newton-John short of Physical and Grease. Like, I'm not going to pretend to be like, oh my God, heartbroken. It was a shocker. It was a shocker. It was a bit of a heartbreaker. And like, I always remember the first time I saw Grease, I heard that, she'd been battling breast cancer. And this is something she's been battling for a while. So it's really sad to see that the big C got the victory, In that sense, it's their human life. I appreciate it. I'm not going to go out and say, yeah, I'm a big fan of Grease as well. But I'm not going to go out and say, like, I know her entire catalogue of movies, songs, and everything else. So, but all the same, RIP to a legend in the eyes of many. That's the best way I'll say it. I respect her work. I'm not going to pretend I know her entire catalogue. Gavin Mann says, good evening. All seen quite a lot since last week. Her is near. Her is that a film, right? Her near perfect.
Yes.
Okay, right. Not seen it. Lightyear wasn't so good. So Her is near perfect. Thanks, Nico. Lightyear wasn't so good. Sorry, Nico. And Prey was much better than expected. I was tempted to watch Prey. Just didn't get a chance to really. It was quite a busy week out, to be honest, weekend-wise for me. So I didn't get a chance to catch that one as well. Lightyear, Gavin, I appreciate it. I'm not going to say it's the greatest experience, but I as I said, socks for the win. The rest of the film, I was like, here we go.
The montage, the time travel montage got me big time, man.
It got Tam as well. Francis Lalonde says, been hearing all good about Prey. Also says, saw ONJ in concert back in the Olivia Newton-John back in the late 70s at the Notre Dame University. Interesting. This is what I'm saying. Like, I'm not as familiar with the entire catalogue. I'm sure there might be a million songs. I'll be like, wow, okay, cool. Like, maybe she just covered Grease. I'm just not au fait to Olivia Newton-John's catalogue like that. Gavin Mann got a notification saying it was on Disney Plus, so I watched it out of curiosity. Pretty glad I did. That's in reference to Prey from Gavin Mann.
Yes, it is on Disney Plus.
I see the silver screen dudes are fashionably late, much like Bruce Wayne, Batman Begins. It's what we do. Now, I'm not here to say anything, Francis, but I am not going to say me and Nico are superheroes, but it's funny how you've never seen us and superheroes in the same place at the same time. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But that's as far as we go. I'm just saying, that's as far as we go with this. Gavin, you're not meant to support that by saying by now. As I said, it's how we do. It's how we do.
Man like AJ talking about how he doesn't like Iron Man because of a certain Tony Stark Iron Man revelation. Next thing you know, he's dropping off fucking superhero identities.
I just said, did I reveal who? I just said,
you said we are. It's now a process of elimination. There are not that many black heroes.
It could even be part of the get-up. I could be the Martian Manhunter. I could change within a blink of an eye.
You could be the Martian Manhunter, so that's narrowed it down even more.
I could be. I might not be even revealed in comics as yet. You don't know what we do or how we do. We could just, for all you guys know, every week we just say it's silver screen time and bang, superheroes. If you look back at one of the thumbnails, Nico has shown that he can morph. It's what we do, guys. It's what we do.
That was a fun episode.
I'm sure it was.
I always wanted to do that little intro.
I am still jealous of it. Still jealous of it. Oh, by the way, this yesterday popped into Noble Collections and to Forbidden Planet. First time for Kaylin and Kayomi. That's my niece and nephew. Zane, first time in Noble Collections. I'm pretty sure I've taken him Forbidden Planet. Still yet to see the blade sword again. The blade replica sword is still my one. It's my what is that word they call it? You know, the goal. It's on the bucket list. Put it that way. It's on the bucket list. By the way,
is Forbidden Planet the one in just like off of
Shaftesbury Avenue?
That's the one. Thank you.
If you go Shaftesbury Avenue, literally that same road just across the road from it, there's a little alleyway. Keep going down it. Noble Collections, awesome stuff. Still possibly going to get the Jumanji official board game. Not is
Noble Collection just like another geeky paradise thing?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they have got so many. There's some stuff that are just not for sale, like Ponds. Ones from Harry Potter and stuff from like Game of Thrones that have been signed by the actual stars of the show or film, and it's just there on display, which is absolutely awesome.
Right. So we know where we're, because what AJ didn't say is you could also be super villains, so we know where we're going to knock off now.
Well, listen, I'm just saying. What's it called? Malfoy's dad's cane's there. Harley Quinn's baseball bat's there. Like, that's
cool.
There is some cool shit in there, but you can also find like the Green Lantern's ring and the Charger. So some cool
Charger.
I don't know. It is the Lantern Charger, isn't it? That's what they call it. The Ring Power Charger. That's what it's called. What?
I believe so. It's just such a.
It just doesn't sound right, does it? The Charger. There was something I saw. There is something I saw that was very, very. I'm like, I feel like I need to get this for Nick, but I'm not sure if you follow into the world of Feeman as much as me. In the world of Doctor Strange.
Talk to me.
What? Yeah.
The fuck?
Okay.
They have the eye of Agamotto.
It's mucking about. Yeah, it's just a wire.
Fuck your light. That's me doing my Doctor Strange shit to you. They have the eye of Agamotto.
One of us has got connection problem, guys. I don't know if it's me or Nick.
Stay. I will refresh.
Yeah. Okay. You do that. I'm going to acknowledge Billy, who says, hello, Nico and AJ. Sorry, Billy. I did see that for a while, but we're there. RJ Skarensky, how you doing as well? Says Toner and Hooch. That was the worst. I should have gone full screen. Thank you. Welcome back. Toner and Hooch, Muppets, Take Manhattan, Old Yeller. That was still on my list to be. Anyway, spoiler. List to be seen. Billy Mount says, Nico, did you get a haircut or is it a ponytail? That's definitely a ponytail, I'm guessing, right? There we go. It's still there. Billy says, Olivia Newton-John gave us the physical song in the 80s. This is what I know. I'm sure she's worth a lot more, but it's what I personally know. Francis Lund said, the only thing regarding Olivia Newton-John many people forget, she actually did have a successful singing career before Grease. Sorry, didn't know.
Hashtag the more you know.
Exactly. Gavin says, Lightyear lost me at that character reveal.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yes. Yeah. I understand why, because it completely, it went... See, I liked it, but it did decanonify some stuff that's been established in Toy Story.
Oh, yeah. I was, No, do you know what? I was thinking I had it now. You just confirmed it. I know. I was kind of on that as well. I was like, well, it's one or the other. It is one or the other, isn't it?
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. I agree, Gavin. I agree. You can wear the mask. Well, we both can.
Can we rewind? You talk to me about the Doctor Strange thing. They have the eye of Agamotto. Ha ha ha.
Yeah. If it's something you're into, bro. Listen, I'm geeky. Like, I saw a Batarang and I was like, that's gonna go on my mantelpiece when I move out. I'm still trying to remember the look on Tam's face. It was like, you what, where? But it is what? But I literally saw the eye of Agamotto and I was like,
I need that.
He needs that. And while we're there, Billy Mount says, speaking of black superheroes, will we get to see James Rose as the next Iron Man after Tony Stark's death? Now, according to Nico's comments before, in Secret Wars, I believe Rhodey is Iron Man. So
correct.
Who knows? That's where we're leading to in the MCU right now. It's possible. I'm okay with that because it's a passing of the torch the same way some would say a Robin can become Batman, right? The sidekick has taken over the master once he's deceased. I'm not into killing off superheroes. Could it be because we are his superheroes? But that's a different story. But
feeling threatened.
Quite bad. But no, on the other side, like that's something I can do. If a character takes over a superhero role, I'm into that. If you're going to tell me a black actor takes over a white superhero or actor's role, such as Idris Elba being James Bond, I'm not here for that. Sorry. Not here for it. But if a character takes the mantelpiece of another, yeah, I'm down with that. I don't know if you have anything different to say with that.
Don't race swap for the sake of race swapping.
Thank you. There we are. Francis Long said, villain roles seems like they'd be much cooler to actually play, regardless of bothering people, love, hate, feeling towards. But this is the thing. It's if you even pay attention. Like, sorry guys, I'm going to go into like wrestling terms for a bit. The bad guys always said it was a lot easier to play the bad guy than it was to play the good guy because you've got to watch your lines and be careful who to offend. Whereas you could just have the world of fun. And Nico's gone. Oh, is he back? Guys, just for the record, is it me who's playing up or is it Nico who's playing up? Because I just had a black swirly line there, but it could well be my internet.
I think I'm fine, my end, brother.
I'm going to wait for the guys to say which one of us. I don't know what's going on the other side. Then the text in the house. Hey, y'all. Hey, bro. How you doing? Billy Mount says,
my partner in crime for WrestleMania, buddy. I've got my fucking Cody Rhodes t-shirt on. I'm so fucking ready for that event. I can't tell you.
Yeah, just take the grease and just rub it in. It's cool.
Speaking of grease, comment down below.
Billy Mount says, I really wasn't a fan of Grease. I like the title song, but that's what Grease is the word. Or Grease Lightning. Which one are we talking about? Both. I like Grease. I've had a lot of fun with Grease. Gavin Mann says, I remember getting occasional gifts from Forbidden Planet when I was younger. Since I've grown up, I've realized the small fortune you spend in that shop.
Bro, it's real.
It's
real.
Do you know the funny thing about Forbidden Planet that had me cracking up was me and the missus only brought like Oyster card holders, right? And I brought one of the comic books that Nath showed in the comic book group for Caleb, my nephew. That was that. Tammy's looking around and seeing stuff. She goes, "Oh, so how much is one of these comics?" Comic. Like, I might get you one. I goes, "Look at the back." She saw 30 quid. What the fuck? I was like, "Yeah, there you go." It's
she thinks 30 quid's a lot.
That's what I said to her. I said, "Those are the cheap ones." That's a cheap one you're looking at there, babe. So yeah.
Try finding those Batman comics before he was called Batman, before DC was called DC Comics, when it was just Detective Comics issue 1.
Yeah.
Woo, brother. Oh.
Yeah.
It's a real problem.
Billy Mount says, speaking of race swapping, Michael B. Jordan as Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. I hate Fantastic Four.
Fantastic.
So here's the funny thing, Billy. I always remember watching this and I was like, so how are we going to do this? Oh, what? The black guy got burnt, right? Is that why it's Johnny Storm, like, and he's got a white sister? Never, ever. I was like, what are they playing at? This is what I was like looking at the whole time.
This shows how racist everyone is.
Exactly. I was like, where are we going with this? Oh, right. Oh, so what? The black guy has to, like, I couldn't figure it out. Then it turns out, and I was like, oh, what? The black guy's adopted. Turns out they've spun it on my head. Yep. So Sue Storm was the adopted one. I was like, hey, you got me. Maybe I shouldn't jump out of my box so quick. Still, it was
mad, isn't it? It's like, we all think, so it's the black kid who's been abandoned. What are we trying to fucking race profile now and say what black people can't look after their family? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, my bad. Like, sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, yeah, that's quite brave of you. What a novel move. Yeah, yeah. But Fantastic Four's a weird film. Starts off good, ends really badly. Like really badly.
I mean, starts off okay, gets really bad really quickly. Pretty much the moment they arrive back, like, it falls off a fucking cliff. It is horrible.
Okay, Billy's confirmed Grease is the word he was talking for. Then mentions Grease 1 and 2. Billy Mount says, Grease 2, one song really good. Cool Rider by Michelle Pfeiffer. I just remember not being able to take in that film. Like, it was bad. To me, it was bad. And finally, Gavin says, interesting to see what films people mentioned tonight. Somewhere you think were sad endings for muscle memory, but when you read the plot, it turns out to be the opposite. I've got one that kind of meets that build. So, put it this way, Bittersweet is, I've got a few, 2, maybe 3, where it's a heartbreaker. You could have the tears, but it's got a positive note, but there is a sad element to it. I mean, let's bring it. You don't have anything from last week, do you?
No.
Right. Let's call Bohemian Rhapsody, where you were like, it's got the awesome ending. And I'm like, to me, it felt sad. You know, it was a bit of a heartbreaker. So it all does depend how you read it. Some people would say Toy Story 3 was a sad, sorry.
Yes. Toy Story 3 was a sad ending.
Yeah, but it also has a sweet feel to it. So it depends which way you want to take a twist on it and see.
Did you cry?
No, not many.
You have no fucking heart.
Listen, there is only, sad to say. Yeah, not many. Maybe I don't. I don't know. Or I've cried enough in other places. It just doesn't.
You're like Iago in Return of Jafar when the genie's fucking with him and Iago's like, what are you trying to do? Give me a heart attack? No, that was a bad Gilbert Gottfried. What are you trying to do? No, that was all right. Give me a heart attack. And then Genie's like, you do have a heart, itty bitty one, but it is there.
So I like how Riri Thomas is like, hello, Nico and AJ. Hope you're doing well. And we all need a cry sometimes.
Yes.
I like that. However, Francis
AJ doesn't cry.
Yeah, Francis on the other hand will agree with you and put up a hashtag, I'm with Heartless. I'm not that bad, but maybe I am. I care. Films hit me.
Cry in Toy Story 3, brother. Like, that speaks volumes.
I welled. I didn't physically cry. I welled. Now, this happens a lot.
My eyes got moist.
Yeah, but the tear hasn't dropped. Do you understand? Whereas, as I said, I could always refer to a tam tap, as I'll call it, where I get that look and I'll turn around. I know what's coming. I can just see the eyes. So these films always get me. Have you no heart? Like, that's who I am.
And then the shit that makes you cry, I'm like, okay, Crash. What?
Yeah, I know. It just hit me. Okay. It just hit me. And there's a weird episode of EastEnders that kind of got me a bit emotional.
You are weird. Fucking kidding me. EastEnders got you in Toy Story. Brother, let's move on.
Ooh. Right.
This is a good point Gavin Mann is saying here. Gladiator sprang to mind, but then I realized there's a reunification at the end. This is going to be a spoiler-a-thon tonight. And with that, I think it's time to... I wish I had that sound effect from Metal Gear Solid, like when you get spotted. Spoilers!
Yeah.
You think you know me? We know what got Nico, but what gets AJ?
Crash. So far, Crash is like my winner of emotional moments. It's weird. Even... oh God, I hope this isn't a spoiler when I say this. I haven't looked at your list at all. The Hate You Give, that moment when the kid has got the gun and actually it's got a happy ending, so it's not a spoiler. But like,
The Hate You Give is one of those movies that should have been more impactful and just left me going, okay.
But there
like
was
like the Danish girl. It's like you should have really moved me, and I'm like, you left me feeling cold.
Yeah. But there was that part where the younger brother pulled out the gun and it gets tense. At that moment, I'm welling up and I can feel the tear coming. Those are the bit I think kids. Huh?
Really?
Yeah.
Tense, yes. Cry, no.
Bro, because I felt it coming. I was like, if this kid gets shot, I'm fucked. Like, I think that was it. I can feel it. It's weird. It's weird. Riri asks, here we go. A very interesting question. How are you going to do your worst? Is it a case of something that tried to be sad and just fell flat for you? Yes.
Yes. Hey, exactly. Double yes.
Right. Yes,
use it.
Is potentially there. Maybe when you reach your target, you could get a soundboard. This is part of the improvements that are.
And to understand what exactly Gavin is talking about, we, the Silver Screen Dudes, are two best friends who, for the last 5 seasons, that's 5 years, have brought you weekly content. Up until recently, it's been mostly on pod, but for the last, I think it's 9 to 12 months, maybe. We've been bringing you weekly content right live on our YouTube channel. The shows have got longer. We've tried to incorporate our family, as Dominic Toretto would say, and incorporate as much of you into the show as possible. I think Frank Torres said it eloquently once. It's like, it's either Frank Torres or Mixed Memorabilia. It's like a weird little book club in our corner of the internet. But if you do like us and you want to support us, we don't make any money from this. It's all done off our own back. So if you like us, you can head on over to buymeacoffee.com/movie dudes. And for literally less than the price of your daily Starbucks, for £2 you can support the show that you tune into weekly and love, just as a sign of we like you. Because we need validation from strangers.
But we won't reveal our superhero.
You're not strangers anymore, guys. I think at this point we all know each other pretty fucking well, to be honest. It's family.
Right.
Nico and AJ, most Shakespeare stories have a sad ending, says Billy Mount. Yes, they do.
They do. No Shakespeare on my list, spoiler.
Will there be any horror films on the list? Asked Billy Mount. Technically, I think you can classify it as a horror film, so yes.
No. No. No,
AJ doesn't really do horror, Billy. It's not his shtick.
This is true. It's not in my wheelhouse, so it's not going to happen. No, sadly not. No.
Good one. It's a good one.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. There are many. But hey.
I think we should get into it.
Yeah. So, get into what?
What
is the Movie Mount Rushmore, bro?
What is the Movie Mount Rushmore? I'm so glad you asked. It is basically a top 10 show, a weekly top 10 show, as previously insinuated, between two best friends from school. Here's how the show works. AJ and I get us under topic. We go our separate ways. We come right back here into recording and deliver to you, the Silver Screen Dudes, our film family, our individual top 10 list. This week, AJ will go first, delivering his bottom 3. I will then deliver my bottom 3. AJ will deliver his next 2. I will deliver my next 2. Then we trade one apiece when we get to our top 5. Once we have both rounded off our individual top 10 list, rewind. If at any time, while we are rounding off our individual top 10 list, one person has a movie in higher position, the person will say,
punt.
Here we go. We're back on track. And once we have both rounded off our individual top 10 lists, we will create the Movie Mount Rushmore. These are the 4 quintessential, diverse, must-see movies of the genre, which this week is...
Top 10 saddest movie endings. Right. So how did we come up with that list? Because last week, the Silver Screen Dudes came up with the topic of happy or satisfying movie endings. And what happens after that? And that's the most important point of the Movie Mount Rushmore. We, the Silver Screen Dudes, will have the ultimate challenge of creating the 4 must-see movies. It gets even more challenging for you, the screeners. Why? Because you have to head on over to @MovieMT_Rushmore on Twitter, but even more importantly, at Movie Poll for You, fronted by good old JT from We Love Movies. There, you will see the 4 films that we have selected, and then you have the very, very difficult challenge of voting for the winner, the El Capitan, El Numero Uno. You must vote for the most must-see movie of that category, the best of the best of the best of the best. And to quote Highlander, in the end, there can be only one. Last week, our topic was most satisfying movie endings, and the contenders were...
Just quickly, whenever you say the best of the best of the best of the best, it always makes me think of that scene from Men in Black where Will Smith walks into Men in Black for the first time and he's like, yo, I'm really sorry if I missed out on this, if this has been answered already, but why are we all here? And the dude, the military guy with the stick up his ass goes, we're here because you're looking for the best of the best of the best, sir. Will Smith laughs. And he's like, hey, your poor Captain America over here. He's really excited, but he doesn't know what's going on. The best of the best of the best, sir, with honors.
Do you know what? That wasn't actually intentional. You're right. It is there. Because we like your top 10, my top 10, those are best. And then we've got the Rushmore being best of the best.
I know where your head's at. I'm just saying where your head's at is also a movie connection.
And to be fair, I had dropped it at one point until Dan asked me, like, where is it? I was like, oh, shit, I forgot.
Bring it back.
Yeah, it came right back.
Bring it the fuck back. Hey, with honors. Hey, see, here you go. With honors, my people. You know what I'm saying. So top 10 most satisfying movie endings. We had 4 contenders. I'll be real, AJ. You said you have the supremely difficult job. This was not difficult. This was a fucking steamrolling. we had Furious 7, The Breakfast Club, Jerry Maguire, and Dead Poets Society.
I still don't think it was that easy. Well,
you and me agree. The internet doesn't.
Right. Fast 7 at number 4?
Annoyingly, yes. Fast 7 came in at number 4. Only got 11%.
I mean, that's a perfect ending, though, isn't it?
Huh?
It's a perfect ending. Like,
it really is.
I mean, some people would say it's a heartbreaker. That's the problem. It's a toughie. Right.
Yeah, but it breaks that fourth wall between fucking movie and audience. It gives Paul Walker a perfect send-off.
No, I get it. Because of the way the world has gone, I'm going to go with the film I'm still yet to see, Dead Poets Society at number 3.
No, sir.
Breakfast Club.
No, sir.
Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire in at number 3, 17%.
Fair enough. Dead Poets Society at number 3.
Dead Poets Society at number 2.
Number 2, yeah.
With 27%. Breakfast Club fucking killed everyone. 45% of the vote went to one movie.
C'est la vie. Okay, well, congratulations. No shit film in there, so it is what it is. Things land where they land. Despite my mixed emotion.
Then the text, right? Fast 7 lost because they made a Fast 8. Yep.
I'm gonna touch on this a bit later on.
Shoot, brother, shoot.
Okay. In at number 10, this is a film I mentioned last week when we were talking about stuff that ends in tears, and I said, like, I nearly done it to Tam, and you were like, what was the film? And I was like, well, I talked about the sad ending. I'm not gonna not bring it up in the sad ending category. I called it one day last week. It's If Only with Jennifer Love Hewitt and Paul Nichols. Randomly came across this film on Sky once upon a time. And it's just one of those romantic films. It's a bit of a sliding doors moment of what you could do to change time. In the film, not a spoiler, Jennifer Love Hewitt dies pretty much in the beginning, and the boyfriend realizes he could have done better. And
he's wrong.
No, for her. For her.
Oh.
Not
I was like, no.
He was punching. All respect to Paul Nichols. But yeah, so what happens is after her death, he actually wakes up and hears her voice. And it's a bit of a Groundhog Day moment. He's reliving that day. And he's realizing everything's happening. And now he's trying to do everything he can to avoid her dying. Again. And ultimately, it leads to... Screw it. This is a spoiler show, guys. It is what it is. It leads to his death, and it's a bit of a heartbreaker because you can see how much he tried to avoid the situation. He sacrifices himself to make her survive, and yeah, it was one of those films that always got me. And because I mentioned it last week, it was definitely one to bring up. Worth a watch if you could watch it, but hey, it's
on Sky, is it?
This was years ago. I've not been.
I was gonna say.
I mean, there's a chance you could find it. I'm not sure. I remember randomly catching this film at 1 a.m. on Sky one evening. It was.
No, I was just gonna say because I was like, I swear down, AJ doesn't fuck with Sky anymore.
It's been a while. It's just but I wouldn't even know where else to find it. But yeah, I caught and enjoyed. Right, in at number 9. It feels weird because I really appreciate this film, but in terms of sad endings, it's not the most heartbreaking. The Talented Mr. Ripley.
I see what you've done there. Okay.
Do you know what? It
is a sad ending. It is a sad ending.
It's one of these films that you're obviously following the character. He's living this chameleon life, and he's essentially just wants to fit in and be appreciated and just fit into this higher society. He wants better for himself, despite I'm going to quote Big Tone here, nefarious antics, in which he does it to climb the social ladder. And when it looks like, despite all of it, he's actually found happiness on the boat and heading away from all the troubles seem to follow him again. And it leads to the murder and him just crying in the corner like, what have I done? It's heartbreaking that you feel like this tortured soul is just not going to find redemption or happiness. And that's why...
You say tortured soul. I call him a sociopath.
Is there much of a difference? I feel a sociopath.
You did not just say that.
Huh?
You did not just say that.
Listen, no. But when I do the breakdown of this, yes, he's a sociopath. We can't deny that. But I also didn't. I give him a bye because he's aware. Where I feel a sociopath just doesn't see the wrong in their actions. They believe they're continuously right. Whereas this guy, it feels like it dawned on him. Did you get what I'm saying? I have the sympathy for him.
And then he continued.
Well, bro, I'm talking at the very end where he's done wrong and he's literally, you could hear him in that with that internal battle, just literally sobbing like, "What have I done?" Like it's like, yeah, no, you've gone too far.
It's a sad ending, but I also found it very unsatisfying. I was like, "What? I need some closure on this character." I needed closure,
but it's like you do wonder, just like, where does this end for this guy? Like,
well, prison.
Yeah, it should do.
He should get his come up.
He should do, but we don't know. Should. I'm not looking for Ripley 2, do you know what I mean? But like on the other side, like who knows which way.
Ripley 2, drop the soap.
I was gonna make a joke, I'm gonna leave it there. But yeah. No, it was one of those endings like, damn, like as much as he'd done wrong, you hoped he finally had a happy ending, and it didn't come that way, and that's where it stuck to me as a bit of a sad ending.
Okay,
cool. There we are.
No beef. Carry on.
Cool. In at number 8, My Sister's Keeper. Seen it? Not seen it?
No.
I think I brought this film up when we done courtroom dramas as well.
The poster looks familiar.
Do you know what? I actually don't recall the poster myself. I've just brought it up for the pod squad. This is the story of Cameron Diaz, who is a mother to, I think it's 3 kids, if I remember rightly. And the first kid, her eldest daughter has cancer. And they've tried multiple different ways to cure the daughter. And one of the doctors has said one of the ways that you could prolong your daughter's life is genetic. Basically, have another kid, but they can genetically engineer the kid, and that would help promote to help. You can use certain organs. I don't want to say organs, but you can use the genes from this kid to help prolong the life of your eldest kid, and that's what happens. The younger daughter then one day goes to Alec Baldwin, who's a lawyer, and says, "I want to sue my family because I don't want to look after my sister anymore." And there's this whole battle with the family of why are you being so selfish, essentially. But what she's highlighting is the fact that I'm continuously going through these surgeries and going through continuous pain just for my sister's life. Like, does no one actually care about me? I've literally been made just for the purpose of looking after my sister. Does no one care about me? So there's this, you can see it from both sides where the family are trying to look after the kid, but you can also understand the younger sister's point. Like, I am a person. I'm not, like, with respect, a machine here just to save my sister's life. And what happens is
it possible to say the word machine without hearing do 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 do?
I know that's
sorry.
You know what? I said machine.
My brain went wild.
Terminator, and I'm like, no, she's not Terminator. Like, obviously. And what happens is, what we've soon found out with this is that the eldest sister is the one who convinced her younger sister. Guys, again, sorry, these are major spoilers in the film.
It's a spoiler episode. We warned you.
Yeah, the older sister was the one who's convinced the younger sister to do it because she realized that she just wasn't getting better, and that's why she's like, just get emancipated from your parent, from mum and dad, live your life, because she wanted to just stop surgery because she'd had enough. She was in enough pain and she wanted to pass. So you do essentially see the older sister pass, and it's a heartbreaker. It is a heartbreaker. It's one of those films that really had me on the edge, man. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm going to quickly fact check this, I should have done it before. I believe the older sister was Thora Birch.
Oh, I like Thora Birch.
Yeah, I'm very sure it's Thora Birch. Let me double check. No, it's not. Why did I think Thora Birch was in this one? No, anyway, I take that back. Right. She's not in it at all. I'm confusing it with
mind works in mysterious ways.
Doesn't it just? But yeah, that's my bottom 3.
Nice. So 2 of them I haven't seen, bro. So not much to add. And talented Mr. Ripley, I co-sign.
Cool. Thank you. I appreciate that.
In at number 10, a movie that was brought to my attention during our top 10 Nicolas Cage movies. I'm going to go Leaving Las Vegas.
Do you know what? That was one of those films that
really good.
It was in my list and I forgot to add it. on this. You know, when you need like little refreshers, there's a few films that missed out, and yeah,
it's Nick Cage and in Oscar winning and Oscar nominated, prowess. It's very sad, and it's something that's ultimately so relatable, because if you really do hit rock bottom, I mean, I've been close to rock bottom. I've not been that rock bottom. You know this. But the idea of a man who just wants to live out his days on his terms and take his life when he wants and end it the way he wants is one thing. The idea of a lost soul finding another lost soul to almost aid him along this journey is quite fucking fascinating to watch.
Yeah.
Because you think about it, as a human being, your first impulse when you see, your first impulse when you see another human being in distress, if you have a heart, so I don't know if this applies to you, AJ, but if you have a heart,
swivel.
that your first impulse is to help them, and if it's not to help, it's to at least show an iota of care.
Yeah.
And our way of manifesting care as humans is always like, well, we need to stop them taking their life because life is valuable and all that, right?
Yeah.
Never do we stop as human beings to think, well, is helping them keep their life or helping them achieve what they want? So the movie asks some very interesting questions, and I think it's a big meditation on us as humans and the decisions we make and what we deem to be right, as opposed to actually putting what a person deems to be right and what a person wants for their right.
Yeah.
And I don't want anyone getting cynical, being like, the same way that there's only the truth, there's not your truth. Yes, there is your truth. There absolutely is your truth. I hate when people are like, there's no such thing as your truth. There's only the truth. It's like, no. Bullshit.
It's perspective, isn't it?
It's not, though.
No, I'm saying your truth is based on perspective.
Oh, yes. This, yes. It is, though.
Yeah.
Like, when people are like, oh, your truth doesn't mean anything, is that it is. It's your perception of things, exactly as you said, AJ, based on the experiences that you have lived through.
Yeah.
That is what formulates your opinion, therefore your truth.
Yeah.
No one's saying that your truth can make 2 + 2 = 4 wrong. No, never. That is the truth. Truth, your truth, is a personal thing that's happened to someone. Something like what a transgender person goes through. That's their truth. I can't relate to that truth.
This is true.
Right?
This is true.
And it's very similar with, I think, leaving Las Vegas, in the sense that what ultimately is the right thing to do with someone who has decided upon all else that's it. They're done. It's kind of the euthanasia argument, isn't it? But and I'm not touching that one with a 10-foot fucking pole. I've been in trouble already on this show in recent weeks. Not going near that one.
Please don't.
Nope. Not touching it. I have my views on it, but they're not going to be shared. You can kind of guess them based on what I'm saying now, but I don't actually know where I stand on should you help someone take their life or not. But I think there's a very interesting question being asked here, that Elizabeth Shue's character in particular, is she doing the right thing by enabling Nicolas Cage to fulfill actually what he wants, knowing that she can't change his mind, and knowing that she can't change his mind coming from a place being informed, because like him, she's also a fucking troubled soul? I was like, woo, movie asking all sorts of questions of me. I was like, good. Sad, because you know how this is going to end. And the sadness comes, again, getting meta here, the sadness comes from our humanity about, well, surely he should keep his life because he seems like a decent guy. He's just a bit troubled. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, no, it's a great film. It's one of that, it just missed the mark for me. Like, I actually forgot to put it on the list. I thought of it, forgot to put it on my list to refresh, and then it just didn't make the top 10.
I'm putting this one at 9, not because it's the 9th best, but just because it gets brought up a lot. But if you think about this when it released was a tearjerker in the cinemas. The classic and critically acclaimed Titanic.
Didn't make the list.
I understand why. We've spoken about it so much. I'm not going to say
that I'm not bringing out go-tos. I'm not going to pretend that, but this one felt like an instant go-to, and it I think also the heartbreak was dampened for me. I'm not going to say I didn't feel it, but I knew what came before I saw the film. So that kind of, when I saw it, it was like, okay. So that's kind of my
fair play. Look, in a list, you know, if the aliens ever came to Earth and looked at our Mount Rushmores, like, yeah, I would have to say, look, for a sad movie, you do want to include Titanic in some capacity. Yeah. On the basis that we have brought it up so much over the last 5 years, it sits a little bit lower down my list at number 9.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting fact. Let's actually have a
let's give Titanic some kind of conversation. Yeah.
Let's give Titanic some kind of conversation. James Cameron was recently asked by Variety about the whole was there room?
Yeah.
He broke it down brilliantly, bro. Really? Like I was like, go on, James. Fucking tell all the Mythbusters and all of the conspiracy theorists and all the fan theorists. He really laid it out. He was like, cool. So if you look, I'll put my hands up and say maybe we fucked up from a visual perspective of that wood looking quite wide. We physically couldn't even we could barely balance Kate on it. That was real. Like when they were actually rehearsing it, they could barely balance her on it. And then there's that other myth, which is like, oh, but what about if she'd taken off her life vest? They could have put it on under, you know, the wood to keep it floating for both of them. And he was like, that's a great theory. So in 0 degree water, where he's trying to survive because the movie's already shown that he's got experience in cold water, and doing so means keeping his upper torso out of the water, you're advocating for him to dive underwater while his body undergoes hypothermia to try and strap a fucking life jacket to a piece of floating wood in the hope that it stays in the right place, and then even stay in the right place as he's climbing on, because it's not going to tilt at all, meaning the thing is going to come out the bottom.
You know, hindsight's beautiful for that. Like I've never even heard that theory. Who the fuck is going to stop to think of that while you're dying? Let's take off the life jacket, which will save you, and let's
you would. Bro, you would. You absolutely would. I can tell you, having been on boats my whole life.
Because you've lived that lifestyle. That's your truth.
Yeah, you just said who would do that, and I'm like, guilty.
Yeah, but I'm saying a casual passenger who's taken a boat and it's fucking crashed and they've not done years of nautical training, that's the last fucking thing you're going to think of.
Especially when your body's going through hypothermia.
Thank you.
Right? So James Cameron just shut this whole thing down, and I was like, well, the argument's now dead. There was no room for Jack on the raft. Which also means my poking fun at Kate weighs a lot is done. Ha!
Okay.
Right, moving on to Titanic at number 9. In at number 8, another one which we bring up a lot, and then I promise it's going to be lots and lots of novelty minus one thing. I'm going to bring in Jack Nicholson, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Again, has to be mentioned. The end is so devastatingly sad and is such a shock to the system when you look at how the rest of the movie plays out. Because it borders on the kind of comedy. Like, yes, it veers down the dramedy route sometimes, but he's a fucking happy man for most part. He thinks he's doing some easy time. Next thing you know, man's being lobotomized. It's like in the small print.
Yeah. Yeah. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is a funny one to me. You know, I'm not saying you're wrong. I always just picture the part where the guy rips off the fountain, breaks the wall down, and goes running. So I was kind of like, there was like, but yeah, on the other side, it's not great for everyone else. So
it's really not.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those where you have to really digest the film properly.
So, it's really not. We have essentially vegetized you. Like, that's not cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've spoken about One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest a lot. So your number 7, please.
Okay, in the land of, to be fair, most of mine have been some new ones. In the world of sad and shocker, to me came this one of my favorites, one of our favorites, should I say, American History X.
Oh shit. Forgot this.
Do you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. It was a last minute. I was doing something. Fuck American History X. Because through all that is there, through all the horrible stuff that both of these brothers have done, it's when he finally understands it all and he's looking to build bridges. But the damage that you've done before comes back to haunt. And it's that look of he's looking to make amends, and the other guy just sees it, pulls the trigger, and there he is, done. And you're just like, no, and it's the heartbreak, and it's just going down a wrong route. Who was the young innocent kid, and he's just influenced by his big brother's ideologies, fucking Cameron's ideologies, that leads him to believe in this was the right way, and it fucking burned when you just see that gun and you just get shot. You're like, no, not now! Like you get all this whole character arc. When you first see this kid, you're like, you fucking piece of scum, and then you see it all, and you actually believe that he's too brainwashed. It's too late for him. He's not going to believe in it. But that throughout this whole night of writing this project and going through everything, he turns his life around, and just as he did, gone.
Yeah, and not only that, but that monologue, that narration he does at the end, that famous Abraham Lincoln quote. I don't know the whole thing, but I know the last is like, the mystic chords of memory will swell when touched, as surely they will by the better angels of our nature. Like, it really fucking hits home. It really, really hits home. It's a devastatingly sad ending. Cynics may say, you see, he was right. Black people can't behave. And it's like, my friend, you missed the point of the movie.
You're right. It is the kind of thing that happens there. That you can even see it being used as part of Cameron's fucking propaganda.
Oh, rhetoric.
Look,
absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%.
I told you them darkies couldn't behave. It's like, well, no.
And this is because he wasn't allowed to read Mein Kampf. Like, you could just see where it goes. Like,
all that because he blew a smoke ring in the black guy's face. It's like,
This is it. Yeah, you could see it. And this is how the hate and the ignorance just continues because of these brainwashing bastards out there that will, and it's both sides, guys. I am not saying that, white is evil, black is great. No, it's both sides. Like,
well, the movie actually went a great length to show that both sides were fucked up.
Yeah, 100%.
Francis Lalonde with some serious name dropping here. Lawrence of Arabia, Cool Hand Luke, Limelight, Apocalypse Now, Night of the Living Dead. Hey, Francis, slow down.
There is a part where we ask for your Rushmore, bro. Just.
Yeah. Francis, I feel like you're going to have 3 Rushmores tonight at this rate.
So my top 30 are.
I need to rewatch American History X. It's been a few years since I've seen it. It's such a fucking good film.
Within the last 2 years, to be fair.
It's so good. It's so good. What did she say?
Oh, no, she appreciated it. She did appreciate it.
Oh, thank God.
There was no hate. I don't know if she cried, actually. I might have to make her watch it again.
I don't think it's one where you cry. It's one that just makes you feel like you've been kicked in the tum-tum. I regret saying that.
But it's those moments like that. Well, yeah, it doesn't take much for her to cry. She watched the last episode of Neighbours 3 times. Each time had tears. But we won't get into that. Right. Bro, I'm going to say it now because I know you and it's something you've long confessed. So please get your finger ready on the punt button because in at number 6 for me, The Green Mile.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
You forgot it.
Oh, that's 2 in a row.
You forgot oh, for fuck's sake.
Are you kidding? That's the punt of punts. Are you actually taking the piss?
I was like, there is no way.
Bitch, please.
This is your tears. Like, I know this.
Mm-hmm. You know it.
I genuinely thought this I would have probably signed out. I was like, there is no way he forgot this.
Punt.
Okay, cool. Over to you.
Green Mile at number 6. The fuck out of here. I'm going to bring in a Disney movie, which we haven't, I think, ever spoken about. And
I have a feeling you have. Because you mentioned it to me and I watched it. If it is the one I think it is.
Okay, fine. I'm going to
name it to your cousin. And he came down with the same similar emotion to you.
Yes. Disney's The Fox and the Hound is my number 7.
I get it. I'm not going to say I dislike the film or what have you.
Oh, it's
I
so
just didn't
sad.
get the heartbreak that you guys had got from it.
Bro, it's so sad.
There's a film I'm going to bring up a bit later on that reminded... I shouldn't say it reminded me of it, but it did in a way of like two opposite sides and where you shouldn't be. Anyway, I'll bring it up later.
Bro, the ending isn't the saddest part of the film. Granted, the saddest part, hands down, is when the old lady is driving Todd back into the woods to let him go because she realizes she can't keep him anymore. And there's that whole soliloquy about how they met and how they grew up and how they grew old together. And she's essentially letting her best friend go. And he has been with her since he was a pup. And he doesn't, fuck the fact that he doesn't know how to survive in the world. He's never experienced loss in his life. Now, to put that into image of her saying without words, stay, and just shaking her head while crying, and him being like, what? Fuck, it gets me. Like, every time it gets me.
Do you know what else kind of got me on this? Yeah, I'll let you finish.
Yeah, and the other thing is at the end, it's that Disney, I think, tried to make it happy, but it's not. It's happy in the sense that Todd has found a soulmate. He's found someone to be with. So he's not alone. But the fact that the final shot of the movie is him on top of the hill, the cliff, looking down on his former life, knowing that he can never go back, but it's just there within reach.
Yeah, within reach. It's do you know what? If I had to pick one of those in the world of Disney / Pixar, I think The Good Dinosaur hurt me more.
Oh, The Good Dinosaur with the sticks, yes?
The sticks, even him, like the sticks, the separation between the two of them when, I can't remember the cave baby's name, but when he runs off with it, like, I wasn't happy. There was no happiness for me. I should nearly made the list, actually. I forgot about it. But like them going their separate ways, I was like, you guys have built your family and now it's just a moment. That kind of burnt me, man. I'm not going to lie. I'm not saying Fox in the House.
So many to pick from. You could have picked Toy Story 3. You could have picked Inside Out.
Yeah.
Like, that's a sad ending.
Yeah.
But no, I went with The Fox and the Hound because it's not one I've brought up much on the
podcast. No, it's not. 100%, bro. 100%.
And it's one of those kind of like post-Renaissance Disney in the early 90s, when we got Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, Little Mermaid. Yeah. After that came this slew of fucking great Disney movies that little to no people have seen. Mulan was fine. It was good. Fine to good, depending on what mood you catch me in. Had The Hunchback of Notre Dame. That was fucking great. You had Hercules. That was fucking great. You had Tarzan. For me, it's okay. I know it's got a lot of love. You had The Fox and the Hound. Like, bro.
You know what? I'm not going to lie. I thought Fox and the Hound was older.
You may be right. Now I need to check.
Yeah, I'm going to check this now. I have Google at my hand on the computer, but I will do
The Fox and... Really?
1981. It is older.
See? So it was pre-Renaissance Disney.
Yeah.
Fine.
In that weird world. It is weird because I think it fell in the era where, the Renaissance came when they re-released like Robin Hood. They re-released the Jungle Book. And I think, had they not done those stuff...
And then they went and made Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. So you had this part where they brought back all the originals, classics, and then brought out the new wave. Whereas had it just been from Fox and the Hound over into Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, maybe Fox and the Hound would have got more love. Potentially. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but maybe.
Yeah. Do you realize that in about 10 years, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs is going to be 100 years old?
I know. Oh, shit. Sorry, bear me one second.
Oh, shit. What? Sharing is caring. What's happening?
No, I just got that alert from my laptop saying charger. And I was like, I didn't plug it. Don't worry, my bag was within reach.
But yeah, it's one I really would like people to go and see. Like, if you're Disney fans, great. If you are, I'd love to know. It's on Disney Plus. It's readily accessible. It's a really good film, man. And for me, it makes me cry more often than not. I adore it. Absolutely adore it. In at number 6 was the horror movie that I said would be coming. I finished this morning before baby woke up. Surprisingly good. And okay, so to contextualize, let me drop the name first. The Mist. Now, The Mist is a Stephen King horror movie. I do not like Stephen King's horror movies. I think they are wank. I said it. Oh, but what about it? What about it? What about it? Like, the old one with Tim Curry was fine. The new one was a pile of shit. I'm sorry.
I heard the second's meant to be better. I've not seen either, so I can't.
No, so much worse.
What, chapter 2 is worse?
No, so much worse.
Okay. Shit. Okay.
No, it's terrible. These movies are tonal nightmares. It's like one moment, like the open, hiya, Archie. You know, they want to go really hard on the creepy clown horror. Then the next minute, you've got these slow-mo Scooby-Doo-like shots of them throwing stones at a babbling brook. One gets hit in the face and the other goes, whoa. I'm like, the fuck are we doing? What is this? Where is the tone? Pick a fucking lane, man. Like, what are we doing? And yeah, so fuck it. And then people are, I can't even think of it. Like, what about Pet Sematary? What about Pet Sematary? And then people are like, what about Carrie? Okay, so Carrie I'll listen to for most part. The beginning and end of Carrie, very good. Middle of Carrie, whatever. I don't like Stephen King's writing. I don't like Stephen King's horror. Stephen King short stories. Shawshank Redemption. The Punt from earlier. So when Stephen King does drama, now he's a different person.
Fair enough.
I'll tell you something very interesting. Frank Darabont, who directed The Shawshank Redemption. Frank Darabont, who directed The Punt from earlier. Frank Darabont directed this. And I'm like, maybe Frank Darabont should just have fucking IP control over all of Stephen King, because when he's doing Stephen King, the shit's good. And this was really good. So, story of The Mist is very simple, AJ. It's got a few semi-famous actors in it. Thomas Jane is in it, you know, of Punisher fame.
Not good Punisher fame. But...
No. But he of Punisher fame. And yeah, typical Stephen King fashion, small suburban white American white picket fence, little Americana town, right? Everyone knows everyone. Neighbors know each other by first name, yada, yada, yada. Typical Stephen King bullshit. Man's painting in his house. Storm hits. Tree crashes through the window. Wake up next morning, they find that the whole town's been devastated by the storm. Look out on the lake, there's this weird mist appearing, right? Then the mist starts to roll into town. People start running through the mist. People start dying. What is in the mist? Basically, big bugs. Like, big bugs. And
Bro,
they go from...
Talking of that, flip me sideways. The other day, I'm sorry to cut you.
Tell me.
Recently, my arachnophobia has descended. It's not as bad as it used to be. Right?
Oh, it's bad.
Bro, the other day, I'm at Tams, and out of nowhere, I literally went, Jesus Christ! Like, I am not joking. This mammoth of a spider came out from under a desk. It's the first time I've frozen a long time for a spider. She ran out of the room and she's like, sort it out. I'm like, first find it. And I'm like, I can't do yeah. Even her stepdad who came, he's got his spider cup. He puts a cup over him, slides the piece of paper under, takes it outside. Even he went, that is a big one. It was the first time in a solid 10 years I was like, like,
fuck that.
As you said, big bugs, bro. I'm not gonna. It's like Francis guessed it. Yeah, he put the spider sides up. I legit just went,
nah, man. Fuck spiders. I don't like spiders at all. Horrible thing.
That was a thing. So, as you said, big bugs. That was one of AJ's moments this weekend. I literally, for the first time in a solid 10 years, went, shit. Yeah, continue.
So they're bugs, but they're kind of like reimagined bugs. So they start off as looking like these kind of mosquito-ish, firefly-ish looking things. When they break in, they find out that they turn into like these scorpion stingy things. There's these spiders. The web is acidic, so it's a bit like an alien thing. Then they get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, essentially, right? So spiders, and they've got, they kind of do a day of the... Correct. They kind of do Romero's Dawn of the Dead thing where everyone's stuck inside of a supermarket trying to survive this. So yeah, nice little horror touch. Perfectly harmless. It works. You've got the crazy religious woman who becomes like the main antagonist of the movie. By the way, there is something so fucking satisfying about seeing religious kooks get killed in movies. I think it's like my new favorite thing. No, people who just preach the gospel and like, oh, look, I'm harmless. Yeah, I shall not be harmed. And you should kill all of these people. It's like, you need to die, bitch. And oh, when they die, it's so satisfying. Oh, religious kooks being killed in movies. That's tasty shit right there. Give me that all day long. But yeah, so they make it out the mist in the end. Well, no, sorry, they don't make it out the mist. They make it from the supermarket to their car without being killed. You know, big battle ensues. A lot of them get killed. And they're driving along. They go back to hit Thomas Jane's place. You see it's been covered up by the bug. So assumption being wife's dead. So it's just him, his son, one of a lady from the supermarket and an elderly couple with a gun. The car runs out of fuel. He has 4 bullets left and there's 5 of them. They've all kind of looked at each other. The kid's sleeping, but the adults have looked at each other being like, so we're going to kill ourselves, basically. Yes, right, yes. I'd rather like take my own life than death by giant bug. So pans off. You know, it's quite tragic because it's just as the son's waking up that, you know, a father killing his own son was like, me. You just see it from the outside. You just see these, you know, nozzle flashes. Yeah. Son's dead. Woman's dead. Old couple are dead. Now he doesn't obviously have any bullets left to kill himself. So his thinking is, well, I'm just going to go outside into the mist. I can't, you know, I've taken my son's fucking life here. Man needs to die. Yeah. Goes out into the mist, makes noise, expecting the bugs to descend on him.
Nothing.
Mist clears. The military rolls in to save the day.
Oh, flip. Oh, bro.
I was like, 5 minutes.
Man. Allow it. No.
I was like, what the fuck?
I mean, it kind of feels like one of my, but oh, man. Oh, allow it. No.
It's so bad. But it's so bad. Like that ending, I'm surprised. I wanted to put it higher, but my top 5 really are fucking bringing the rain here. But bro, that especially as a new dad, I saw that I was like, I felt sick.
As godfather to 2 and uncle to 3. Oh, mate. Oh,
like when you think you've done the right thing to spare your son by killing him and sparing him from a fate much worse, only to realize that fate wasn't a thing anymore, bro. You just murdered your son. It's like, oh fuck me, what?
Oh man,
so bad.
Oh, that one hurt me. That hurt. Oh,
missed. Very good movie. Fucked up ending.
That's wrong. That's a wrong. Oh. Yeah, okay.
So bad.
Oh, mate.
I think we've just found a contender for the Rushmore based on your reaction.
Oh, do you know what? Maybe, but I mean, like my bottom 3 are pretty tight.
Just one thing, JT insists. I'm not even lying. JT literally tweeted me and said, if The Mist isn't in the top 4, I'm done. I was like, I know he's kidding, but just in case he's not.
Okay. So hold on, is this JT influenced? Like these are meant to be
my watching this movie was JT influenced, yes.
Okay. Yeah,
yes, you sit high on your ivory tower there, my friend. Now, what if I came to you today and I said, well, we've lost the guy who does our polls for us? Because
I get it. I'm just saying influence is influence. Mind you, I will give it to you because it came up quite a bit on Google when I did look. Time just wasn't on my side.
It's on YouTube for free.
Serious? Nice. Oh, I didn't see that. Right. Okay.
Hang on, I can share the link right now. Bear with. I will put it. It's not good quality.
Oh, bro, leave it. I mean, if you're putting it for everyone else, that's fine. But the world is familiar with what AJ Vision is, so I will find it. But who knows?
If anyone wants to see The Mist, it is in the comments
While
section.
You do that, I'm going to go
with
go with my number 5. That was your number 6, right?
Yes, sir.
Number 5, one of the favorites, which you finally got a chance to see, and it didn't resonate to you as much.
Okay.
But the ending to me is one of those that always gets me choked up. I am talking Hilary Swank's $1 Million Baby. Do you know what it is, bro? I think it's the shock value of how the injury takes place that always shocks me when I go back to that film. And it's the graphicness of the injury, and I'm like, no. And then just seeing her in the hospital bed, and you know what's coming. You know what's coming, and it gets to that point, and that it just gets me. End of it's not The Mist. I'm going to put my hands up to it now. I know it's not The Mist, but yeah, it just knowing it's coming. It just gets me, man. It just gets me in a way that you're like. I think it's also that, you know, when I don't want to say pointless death because no death is ever like warranted, but you know when you're like,
there's religious kooks in movies.
your favorite thing. I apologize.
Oh, mate.
I apologize for infringing on your truth.
Top 10 religious kook deaths in movies. That fucking top 10 I'd want to do. Wow.
Are the bees in that one? Oh, bad, Nicolas Cage.
Not the bees. Not the bees. God, not the bees.
But yeah, I mean, we've talked about this film quite a bit, but it's that moment you could just see it, and you could just see the suffering, and they're like, well, this is what needs to happen to, and you're just like, oh man, no, say it ain't so. That's just not the way it had to end. So I don't want to go too deep because we've done $1 Million Baby.
I mean, she was Oscar nominated for this. Can't say much against Hilary Swank for her performance. It was she brought the rain.
Yeah, indeed, she did. It got me emotional. The tear didn't drop, but it got me emotional. It was a welling moment. It was definitely a welling moment. Okay.
That was your 5, yeah?
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned Hilary Swank at number 5 because I've also got a Hilary Swank at number 5. It was her other Oscar nomination.
I'm sure I've seen this film. I'm sure I know it. I will say it.
Boys Don't Cry.
I swear to you, I think I've seen this film, but I cannot remember I know the story. I know the story, but I cannot remember the film.
It's so fucked up. It's so fucked up. True story. It's I can't remember the character's name, so we'll just go by Hilary Swank in this. Hilary Swank plays a transgender,
right?
It is transgender, but you don't say a transgender. You have to give the pronoun, which is weird because they don't call it. Anyway, I'm not getting into that. Woman becoming man, so transgender male? Yes, transgender male. Hasn't gone through the operation yet, so
pre-op trans.
Pre-op trans, correct. And living in, sort of Bible Belt, Middle America, that type of place. Places where trans is a fucking foreign concept. At the point she's at now, obviously she's a man in a woman's body, so she's attracted to women. But the way she's being seen is, quote unquote, dyke, right? Anyway, I'm going to give you just the ending here, right? The local town psychopath played by Peter Skarsgård. Yes, that Peter Skarsgård finds out that she's porking his ex, played by beautiful Chloe Sevigny. And I mean, they rape her, right? To kind of reinforce the fact that you're a woman, not a man. Here's why, I want to know why? Here's why. It's like, not a good why. And after raping her, she runs away, tries to get to the police station. Doesn't quite she makes it, but then the police are kind of like, well, tell me this. If he raped you and you're a transgender, why? No. It's like, oh, wow. So this is really highlighting what was going on at the time. You should not be asking a rape victim these sort of questions. Jesus Christ. A bit of sympathy, please. No, none. Needs. Anyway, town sociopaths, plural, because there's him and his buddy who is equally reprehensible, catch her and decide that they're going to kill a dyke. Again, quote unquote, dyke.
Quote, unquote, yeah.
Not the words of Nico Lurot. And she's from a town called Lincoln, and she's come to another town, and that's where all the shit's happened to her. And the place where she's been staying is with a girl who's got a kid. And what they decide to do is they decide to go to this girl's place because they want to go dyke lynching. So what they do is, in front of Chloe Savini, in other words, Hilary Swank's girlfriend, they decide to blow Hilary Swank's brains out, right? And then for good measure, the woman in front of her fucking child, they blow her brains out too. And that's the part that just made me go, again, with the fucking child trauma. Allow it.
Allow it.
Like, it's bad what happened to Hilary Swank's character, but the woman being killed and her child seeing it, I was like, nah.
I think I've seen parts of the film, because what you're telling me I have not seen, but I am very familiar with this film.
Bruh, the ending's fucked up.
Oh, man.
It's on Disney Plus. Shouldn't be on a family show, but hey, there you go.
Well, I mean, hey, listen, Disney Plus has the
Disney Plus ain't for families anymore. Disney Plus for everyone.
Disney Plus has the codes, man. So it's if you don't have a pin, you ain't watching it. So
yeah.
Oh,
then the text says, "Boys don't cry." It's so messed up. It is so messed up. It is so fucking messed up.
Yeah. It's weird because you're bringing these, and I feel like I've got a good movie, and I'm like, okay, it doesn't hit as hard as yours does. So well done, thank you again.
Hey, Liz, you've had me for the last few weeks. My turn.
Cheers. Is that the way we'll look at it? Right. So in at number 4 for me, geez, I really feel like I need to watch this film. So in at number 4 for me, film I saw in the cinema this year. Done a review for it as well, believe it or not.
Oh, Baz Luhrmann.
Yeah, Elvis. Now,
no comment. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, you can't say, if you've not seen it, there's not much you could put. Now, this story shows you the life of Elvis, but it's the abuse of the Colonel, and it's where a man is just at his wit's end, and the addict, like where he was literally trying to just give up, have a break, and the Colonel is just milking this guy for every last bit of him. Like there was a point where they show Elvis had like fainted and was done, and they just inject him with more drugs just to get him up on stage, you know. And
shit!
It's touching, man. And it's the part that got Tam was just before the ending, where it shows the abuse, and he realizes that he wants out of this contract. And I really don't want to spoil this for you, to be honest, because it's like a pretty fresh film. Like you could still see it this year potentially, but yeah, there are many people who may not have seen Elvis, but may watch it soon because hey, video on demand is a thing. But you can see where he's going through this battle, and essentially, there's no spoiler in it. We all know Elvis dies, right? That's life. And what happens is you just see this battle of a man who's trying to, in his last stages, like fat Elvis, if you want to call it, like all the weight has been gained, him just performing, falling in love with you. Like, you know, he's giving emotion, but you can see the shell of this performer who he was, you know, the Elvis the pelvis, as he was known, to this man just about sitting in a chair performing. It goes from Austin Butler into real life Elvis. It's just heartbreaking because you feel
is that how the movie ends?
Like,
I like that.
And it's just, you're like, this guy really gave it all, and it really breaks you. Like, you know, where I was split with Bohemian Rhapsody. This one just hits home, man. You're like, damn, like he went for it. Okay, there's a bit after that kind of hits the Colonel. You don't even give a shit about the Colonel by the end of this film. Like, it's like this poor guy. And
here's my question: do you buy Tom Hanks as a villain in this, or do you not just think Tom Hanks, the nicest man in the world, after John Cena?
Do you know what it is? Tom Hanks in this film is a bit like the Penguin in the Batman. You see Tom Hanks, but you don't. You know, there's some makeup in there, so every now and again you're like, this is Tom Hanks, but the Colonel is the Colonel's a cunt. The Colonel's a cunt. There's no in between on this, and that's what's transmitted throughout this film. You know. And yeah, it hit me. It hit me hard. You're like, damn. Like it warms you a bit, like you're hearing some classic tunes, but you're like, this guy really took a hit. So yeah, I do recommend it for anyone if you can.
Well, I will see it. Look, I've got an interesting relationship with Baz Luhrmann. I'll talk more as the show goes on.
Yeah, fair enough.
That was your 4, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, my 4. I'm gonna go Italia here with La Vita è Bella. Life is beautiful.
That's your number 4?
Yes, sir.
My number 3.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that ending. Oh.
You know, it's one of those where you can talk about bittersweet again, yeah? Because it's like, yes, he's reunited with mum.
Kids again.
Yeah, but bro, this is my final 3. I'm not even gonna hold it back, kids. Yeah.
Oh, I know where you've gone then.
Yeah. Yeah, kid.
That kid movie.
Okay, he's reunited with mum, but do you know what? It's the final words as well. And this was my dad's sacrifice for me. And you're like, oh man, it's just throughout this film. And I remember at the beginning of this film, I was like, just get to the point. It sounds bad, but it's like, get to the point, please. Like, you see the practical joker around town, and then the concentration camp takes place, and then you see the sacrifice that his father's trying to do for his son to not be tortured, or scared or hurt in this very difficult time. He makes it a game. He makes a concentration camp a game to protect his son. And even at a point where he knows his demise is coming,
still does the little dance.
Still keeps his son entertained. So much so that he gives him that funny wink, and his son gives the wink back, and it's there. His son is oblivious to what is going on. You're like, you deserve
the dad
the
of
award
dads.
Yeah, the dad of dads. That is it. That is literally it. And it's a heartbreaker. It's really
heartbreaker. Oh,
yeah.
Fucking kids, man. And Billy Mount, though, is making a very good point here. Roberto Benigni, how the mighty have fallen. Yep, because while he was amazing in Life is Beautiful, then for reasons beyond my understanding, he directed and cast himself as Pinocchio. He's a big man. You're an Oscar-nominated and Oscar-winning actor. You're also 50. Why are you playing a boy?
Yeah. Yeah.
No good. No bueno.
That's weird as.
No bueno. And his career died after that, basically.
That's weird. That's weird.
Gavin Mann says Austin Butler may get an Oscar nomination for his performance. He is rumored to be appearing in a film with Jodie Comer. So Jodie Comer, I'm still on the fence about. I did not care for Killing Eve, but I thought she was good in the Last Duel. Appearing in a film with Jodie Comer and Tom Hardy, thumbs up, about a motorcycle gang. I think it's to be set in the 60s.
So we found the era that Austin Butler likes to be in.
Yeah, thank you very much. So that was my 4, your 3. So my 3?
Yes.
My 3. Okay, I'm not going to surprise anyone here with this entry. I can't keep talking about how much I fucking love this film. La La Land.
Fair enough.
It gets brought up so much, but I still maintain, however,
it is a downer.
This is the one where it's bittersweet.
Yeah,
because they've both got what they wanted, like life mission achieved. But the movie says, but at what cost? Yeah. Bookended by Here's to the Ones Who Dream. And it's like, I'm happy for them, but they could have been happy together. It's that look of acknowledgement at the end without any words. The last 10 minutes is basically all just music. And then it fades to silence in that look they give each other, knowing we fucked up. We could have made this work together.
Could have made it work. Yeah.
We could have made this work. We fucked up. Yeah. We fucked up. But that equal acknowledgement of, but it's not going back. We can't, at the place we're at in our lives now.
Life has changed. Too much is in place.
It's changed too much. I've got kids. I got a husband. You've got your thing going on. No. Yeah. We'll do a little nod. We acknowledge we fucked up. Close the curtain. It's like,
do you know what I hate about these films? Yeah. Films like this, and it happens in so many different things.
You don't use the word hate and La La Land in the same sentence.
Bro, here's the thing. No, it's what I hate about my emotions with films like this, if you want them. It's that you know the person's happy, essentially, but you can't help but hate the character that makes them happy because you want to see another ending. So like the husband inherently has done nothing wrong, but you're like, fuck that guy. You know what I mean? I just hate that emotion. I really do.
I hate you. It's such a bum ending, man. It's but it some people say it makes the movie. For me, the whole movie's fucking great, but it definitely it elevates the movie from being very, 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 very good to actually being great.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's
I'm a person. You know when you were about to say I'm a person who loves a happy ending. It's not in that sense, but yeah, you love the cheer and giggles at the end of a film, or fist pump, like it ended great. So that's the part. Oh, man, it is that it could have been so much more. So I don't say it breaks the movie. It's just one of those where you have to accept an ending because life is life, essentially.
Yeah,
and
life is life.
A
few quick comments here. And the text says this episode is sad. It is, isn't it?
What is saddest movie endings, bro?
Saddest movie ending. Sad episode. Buddy Mount says, Nico and AJ, which actor is the better Elvis? Austin Butler, Kurt Russell, or Bruce Campbell? AJ, you're far more qualified than I am at this point to talk about this.
Austin Butler's the only one I've seen.
Okay, so maybe you're not.
So, Austin's gonna catch the win.
I mean, you've seen Kurt Russell play Elvis in Forrest Gump.
Yes, this is true. Yeah, Austin Butler's still winning.
And I haven't seen Bruce Campbell play Elvis. And Billy Mount says,
"What in another parody film?
It must be. What did you think of Jodie Comer in Free Guy?"
She was there.
Yeah,
she's the love interest. She's the one who the character was built upon.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, she was there. Didn't leave a lasting impression. Nor did that movie, by the way. Like the hype that it got, it's amazing. I'm like, it's fun.
I loved it because of the thought process of what it was. I believe Wreck-It Ralph somewhat tells it better, but this is also
so much. Listen,
the idea I joked about.
The idea is fun,
to be a film. Yeah.
But considering what the idea is, fuck me, does the movie outstay its welcome?
It drags. In that sense, it will drag.
Oh my god! Like, okay, cool. You've got a fun novel idea. Let's wrap this shit up now, please.
And then when they created like Super Guy, it was like guy on steroids. It's just like whatever.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Or the Super Guy kind of made me laugh a bit, but it was just like okay.
But even that they dragged the joke. Do you get it?
So much.
It's like, okay, we got the moment. Let's move on. But it was here we go. But I enjoyed it. I didn't hate it. It was there.
Fair. Billy Mount then goes on to say, Nico, there's another live action Pinocchio from. Okay, we need to slow down on the Pinocchios here. Seriously, there's another live action Pinocchio from 2019 where Benigni played Geppetto. That is more fitting. But can we also just reflect on the fact that there's 2 Pinocchio movies coming out like this year or next year? It's like, slow down.
It's when do you know what it is? It's when IPs aren't actually owned by Disney, so someone else is like, "Oh, Disney's own it, I can do it." Because remember at one point, I think it's out.
Jungle Book,
released, but we had Jungle Book and Mowgli.
We've
got the Pinocchio thing going on. Do you remember there was like another Little Mermaid out there at one point, and it wasn't a Disney one? I don't know if it ever got released, but I remember there was a trailer for it and shit.
Rings a bell.
There was.
Then again, what the fuck's going on with the public IP in it? Hans Christian Andersen, right?
Yeah. So it's like when they realize that yes, it's a Disney classic, but guess what? Disney don't own the IP. We can muck about with it. But why do you always want to compete around the same time? It's like, okay, here they are. Allow it. Calm down.
My take's better than your take. It's like, fuck off.
All you do is confuse the casuals, and that's it. And I think some people think they can cash in on the casuals because it's like, oh, it's got to be that, and you go down the dark twist. I think that like Little Mermaid was meant to be a very dark, twisted, like more.
You know the original ending of the Little Mermaid, right?
That's what I'm saying. They're closer to the source material. I'm not going to deny that. Yeah, but people go down the Disney route, which I'm not saying is right. But then, that fucked up. And then the other one comes up, I don't care because they fucked up the last time. It's just too confusing for no reason.
Preach.
Yeah.
One for you from Gavin Mann, AJ. There's 6 days left to watch Beyond the Infinite 2 minutes on all 4. Just saying.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I'm gonna try to tie up.
So that was my 3. Your 2, please, AJ.
All right. I watched the film quite recently. I think you mentioned it before, and I can't remember. I can't remember if you liked it or disliked it, but bro, again, it's kids, and I'm between 2 and 3. To be honest, the bottom 3, I wasn't sure which one got me the most. In at number 2, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas.
I've mentioned it. I've not seen it.
Have you not seen it?
No, I've not seen it. I know it's on Netflix. I haven't seen it.
It is. I watched it for the first time with this because it was like listed as one of the sad movies.
I think I saw the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes of it, and it wasn't about I didn't enjoy it. I just didn't have a chance to go back.
I wasn't too sure on how I was going to approach this film when it first started. I was like, okay, here we go. And again, once you've seen Life is Beautiful, you're not too sure how you're going to try to put everything in the same pot, but it's like another film about a concentration camp. And basically, you're seeing it from this German family who are moving to the countryside, and their young son, Bruno, believes he doesn't understand. To be fair, concentration camp at the time is very hush-hush, apparently. I don't know how true this is to the rest to actual history, but he just believes that he's very close to a farm. So he's like, oh, the farmers are really weird here. They all wear pajamas and stuff like that. And that's the way he sees it. And there's this Jewish guy who's essentially like a servant for them, peeling potatoes. And he starts to get to know them. And he's like, they're really weird. Like, this guy was like a top professor and he gave up his profession to peel potatoes. But they're just mentioning this stuff along the way. But since they've moved, he's not made any friends. His sister starts to, they're homeschooled as well. So they don't have a chance to make many friends. His sister has been taken in by the propaganda of their German teacher, and you know she gets rid of all her dolls and start putting up Hitler posters. But the brother is more of an adventurer, and he doesn't really take into everything. And he spends more time alone, tries to read books on his swing and what have you. And he goes beyond the house and he walks up and ends up in front of the concentration camp, and that's where he meets Schmuel, who is the young Jewish kid, the boy in the striped pajamas. And they build this weird friendship of just trying to understand each other and why they can't meet and stuff like that. There's a bit that I say reminds me of The Fox and the Hound, where there's a bit of a betrayal, like, oh, that didn't happen. But what happens is they rebuild their friendship, and I don't want to screw it, it's a spoiler. Fine. They rebuild their friendship, and they actually just want to hang out together. And Schmuel can't make it on the other side of the fence, but they find a way to get Bruno through, because there's a way Bruno can fit in because he can get striped clothes. Now, this dad who is running this concentration camp, and it's the way the propaganda video makes it look like this is a great place for the Jews to hang out and stuff like that. They make it look like a resort. So when the son saw the video, he's a bit conflicted by it all as to what's going on. But he's like, we can go there. And he starts looking. Schmuel's dad has now been killed in one of these chambers, right? And he's now going to help Schmuel look for his dad. So he's put on the Nazi uniform, or striped pajamas, as it were, and they're looking around, and he can see the depression going on around everyone. And he's like, I'm a bit uncomfortable here. Can we go to a cafe? And Schmuel hits him with what do you mean a cafe? There's nothing great on this side of the fence. And they start to look for the dad, and they go into this hut, or whatever you want to call it. And essentially what leads to it is
gas chamber.
The Germans are putting everyone into the gas chamber, and this kid is totally unaware of what's going on because no one knew. They hid it from people that they gas the Jews. And the mum had just about found out, and the dad is literally seconds. Essentially, the dad's work has killed his own son. Bro, Vera Farmiga. Vera Farmiga plays the mother, and the heartbreak of this mother knowing what has happened to her son is absolute. Oh, bro, if I tell you, these bottom 3, I don't know. I've been toying with which is what. I can't lie.
Keep going, mate.
Yeah. Guys, if you are in the UK and you haven't seen this film, yeah, it's a sad episode, guys. But The Boy in the Striped Pajamas is 100% a film to watch. I was like, wow. Yeah.
Horrible.
It's
horrible.
Yeah. So Gavin says it, right? The Boy in the Striped Pajamas is my number 2. At least one tear must have been shed, AJ. It was well in point. It was well in point to a point that you can see what's
broken
coming.
Record, brother. Welling point. So you're still not crying.
It nearly dropped. If there was 2 more minutes of this scene, I would have been in tears. My heart had dropped. If I'm going to talk about a film where my heart had dropped and just fucked me. And I was like, I'm done. Like this, the heartbreak. I can't lie. The heartbreak in this film screwed with me in a way that not many films have. And I think I've made it number 2 as opposed to number 1 because I was like, this is fresh. Maybe I'm being too emotional on it. But bro, when you watch it, even though I've told you the result, when you see it,
I don't need to see this.
Oh, bro, it feels like a sin to not see it. It feels like a sin for you to not watch.
Being a father is too fresh for me. I do not deal well with shit happening to children at the moment. This list was not my friend.
Bro,
Like,
I get it. Mate, yeah. Again,
read that one.
Kevin Mann had said, "Have Thames Water declared a hosepipe ban on AJ's tear ducts, bro."
If you're in the UK, you know.
yeah. Kevin, how can I say this? I think there are certain points.
Hashtag I'm with Heartless.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Like life. I'm not gonna say I've had a terrible life, but when you've had the old battering in certain places, and you all right, I'm gonna call it where I call it, and I'm not gonna say it's the truth because things have happened after that. I always remember after my grandmother passed, I said that was my last tears. Coincidentally, my granddad died recently. I saw tears again. But yeah, I think it's since those, nothing is apart from Crash for some weird reason. For some weird reason. But like, yeah, I could really do. Thank you, Gavin, for saying cry, AJ, cry. I think watching Boy in the Striped Pajamas one more time could possibly, if there is one that is going to get me, it could be that film. And my number 1, potentially.
I know what your number 1 is.
Yeah. Okay. Over to you.
You're about to punt me. My number 2.
Well, am I going to punt you, or do I just? Oh yeah, because we got worse.
You're going to punt me. Grave of the Fireflies.
Yeah. No, I forgot about worse. So yeah.
Yeah. Please, your worst.
Now, last week Pixar took the hit from me because I just didn't want to put 8 Mile as worst. That's the fact. I just drew for Ratatouille. I was like, fuck that ending. This one,
fuck you and your hate for Ratatouille. It's awesome.
This one, I feel Pixar deserved the hate because they shouldn't have done it. I think it was cashing in on an IP, and you tried to make it like the grand goodbye, and we should feel pain and everything. And I was for a minute. There was a few films, but I was like, "Fuck this," because it's like saying, here's a laceration. We stitched you up and we put a plaster. Let's pull back the plaster. That's gonna hurt. You're like, no, it's healed now. Like I've got over the pain. Essentially, let's not waste any time. Fuck this movie. Toy Story 4. Didn't care for it movie. In the absolute. Not a tear was shed, not an emotion was felt. You ended Toy Story 3 so beautifully that it was bittersweet. You don't know. Last week it was in great. It could have been on sad this week. And that's when I thought, you know why? You know why? Because that was a beautiful ending. Just the same way Den said, Fast 7 doesn't get love because they made Fast 8. This is the same thing.
Yeah,
right?
This is hurt Toy Story 3.
So it's the same way Riri said, asked the question, will it be something that was meant to be emotional that meant nothing? Bang, that's the one. Toy Story 4, sorry, not a touch of emotion, just more and more me going, why am I watching this? It gives me nothing.
I'm with you. It did nothing. All I remember about seeing Toy Story 4 in the cinema is that Everyman Cinema on Baker Street burnt my cookie dough, which made me very sad. That's all I remember about this movie. That and sorry, hang on. Message from the wife. What's going on?
What's his name? Sporky? Forky? Nothing. Sorry.
Fucking Sporky.
I get it that kids create toys. And again, if you
go
back
to a toy that doesn't know it's a toy, I swear we've been down this route before.
Well, yeah, and told worse. And told worse.
Yeah.
But I get it that you've made something that was meant to be inanimate and it's become something so it's adjusted.
So the whole of Toy Story.
Yeah, but it was just like there was nothing in it. And I just felt like
so hang on. Fuck the whole of Toy Story, like nearly every single Pixar movie ever.
Yeah. But it was just this moment of, you know what? It gave me nothing. I didn't find him funny. I just found him there.
Annoying.
He was there. It was there. And it was like, okay. And you're just building up this montage of trying to make a toy accept it's a toy. As you said, we've seen it already. Meant nothing. But still trying to give me a deep story on the other side of it. And you're like, so I care about Bo Peep, and this is why we're on this road trip, and we're going to do this. But this toy is here with us for the journey. When you know what? If you don't want to be a toy,
even that, they didn't need to do this Bo Peep storyline. There was so much power in Toy Story 3 in that throwaway line. Yeah, in that throwaway line when they turn to it and go, "What, like Bo Peep?" And his head drops and goes, "Yeah, like Bo Peep." He's like, that says so much more than doing this wank stain movie.
Yeah.
I was so angry with Pixar for doing this. And if rumors are to be going more, it's like, stop. Yeah. You made one of the best trilogies ever. Leave it.
That's the thing. So Gavin, so first of all, Den the Tech Arts, no comic book movies, AJ. And he put up Infinity War, which nearly made the list. But I actually really appreciate some of these films. Bro, I said it. Tony's click hurts. Gavin asks, of all
Infinity War is not Tony's click, brother. Whoa. Infinity War is not Tony's click.
No, Infinity War. Oh, no, Infinity. No, sorry. I'm thinking Endgame. Sorry, I'm getting caught up here. Infinity War. Let's go back to Infinity War. No, Infinity War just had me with loads of questions. I wasn't sad. It was just loads of questions. I was like, what? But
spoiler, they all come back.
Yeah, like, what do we do? How do we do? Yeah, there was a lot of that. I wasn't sad. I was just questioning everything. Going back to your question, Gavin. I don't know how many films I've seen with sad endings, and yes, I tried to build the list, but I don't go to look for worse sad movie endings when I could build a Rushmore of great sad endings, and that's kind of where I'm at when it came to that. Yeah, a weird one for me. It just couldn't find. There probably is one that I'll kick myself and be like, of course, that was wank. A film that was in my list for sad ending, but it was going to be my number 10 at first. Before I remembered American History X, actually, was Spotlight. And I love the film Spotlight, but the lack of an enemy also gave me that sad feeling. So it's like that list was really heartbreaking, but it didn't give me the emotion I wanted to feel for such a tragedy and crime that takes place within the church. And it goes back to where Nico can praise the death of certain...
Death of religious cookies. Fantastic.
Yeah. If you want to quote the Bible, but you want to continue to sin, burn in hell, you bitch. Anyway, there we go.
It's all true. Kill the religious kooks. Kill them. do to them what they do to the gays.
I get where you're going.
Tell me I'm wrong.
No.
A man shall not lay with another man. Aha, but it also says that if a son disagrees with his father, he's to be stoned in public. Did you fucking ever disagree with daddy, motherfucker? Because if not, you got a stoning coming, biatch.
So, Ruby, I see your comment.
You can put it up. It's not mine.
Okay. So Revenge of the Sith is worse. But here's the thing.
It's not sad. It's void of emotion.
It was meant to be sad. It was meant to be the birth of our villain, you know? And this is the problem. If you're aware of Star Wars, you know that Anakin's going to become this guy. So you know it's not going to be great, but it's meant to be pretty badass. It's just it's a shit ending. I'm not going to deny you on that, but I wouldn't say it's like one of those that attempted to be sad and went wrong. It was just oh, is that you? Okay, cool. Fuck you. Done.
I've just been notified, by the way, on a completely different topic, since we're talking religious kooks, that's a political here a moment. Energy bills forecast to hit over £4,200 a year next year, which is about $350 a month. For context, for those of you not living in the UK, current energy bills were 80 quid. They're now probably up to what, 130? Going to go up to 350. So that's unaffordable.
Den! You're number 10. I said it 100 times. I wanted that film to be on my saddest films. Oh, sorry. So while I've kicked off, sorry, I just read it. That's a very good point. Guys, can you please put in your either top 4 or top 10 saddest movie endings? Yeah, would love to hear from you. Now's the chance to really get it in before we go any further. Yeah, 350. Yeah, it's absolute bullshit.
350 is absolute bullshit. I'd just like the record to show that Keir Starmer, the leader of the Labour Party, supports doing a windfall tax, which would hold the energy companies accountable and not put the fucking cost onto us. But if you're a if you're a Tory supporter, you continue voting for them and paying those energy bills, my friend.
Yeah.
Continue. Okay, my worst movie I've seen for the first time. I was like, based on what I know about it, based on who I know is in it, mostly. There's one person who I really don't like in it and never have, and this didn't change my opinion. Movie, I was like, I'm sure I'm going to like this. It's a musical. It's right up my street. It's made by Baz Luhrmann. It's supposed to be one of the all-time greats. Saw it, and I was like, what in the blue fuck am I watching? Moulin Rouge.
I had fun with Moulin Rouge. It's weird.
Oh, no.
It was weird. It was weird because there were parts of it I hated. Then I started to accept it. And this is the thing. And I'm going to let you ramble on. There were parts, the early parts of Elvis reminded me of Moulin Rouge. And I'm like, I don't like the route this is taking. And I was like, this is a weird angle Baz is taking. Then Baz gets serious with it. And I loved it. I understand the quirky can be fucking irritating. I don't know if that's
quirky. There was a number of things that bugged me in this. The quirky irritated the fuck out of me. Now, let me bring up the poster again because there's something on this that I only just scoped now. From the director of William Shakespeare's Romeo plus Juliet. So that's the one which you and me both love with Claire Danes and DiCaprio. Yeah. Now, what you and me have always said about that is we love how they've taken Shakespeare and kept the Shakespearean dialogue, but set it in a modern stage, in a modern era. Moulin Rouge is interesting because they tried doing something similar with that. Well, it's set in the 1700s, but it's got modern... Yeah, exactly. So it's set in the 1700s, but it's got all these modern music. Now, that creative choice, if it worked for you, what I'm about to say will not resonate with you. But that creative choice bothered me so fucking profusely that it was... You know what I'm like when I get granular and it's like, I'm fucking can't take my eyes off this. It's like... Yet the story of the fucking struggling artist who falls in love with the hooker. It's like, okay, fine. Nothing original here, but yeah, okay. Can play. It's a story that works. Okay? It's like, oh, but it's true love. It takes you past your career and all that. Not if your name's La La Land, which is why La La Land is fucking great. Just putting that little nugget out there. But yeah, the way that they all of a sudden, the way that they broke into song in this movie, I was like, oh, Jesus, that's grating. The songs that they chose to break out into, like, he's just been doing this kind of hide and seek with her. Next thing you know is, I was made for loving you, baby. I'm sorry, what? Why a kiss here? Kiss should not be at this party. What the fuck? And then you've got the next thing. Let me tell you about Buenos Aires. And I'm like, okay, cool. We're going to get like a tango now, something fiery and passionate. Roxanne, you don't have to put on a red light. I'm like, what are you doing? And something I never realized, smells like a teen spirit. Thank you. Now, people are going to be, but what about Lady Marmalade? Lady Marmalade, I'll give a pass to because it was a song specifically written for this movie.
But the remake of the original song. Yes. But it's also about sleeping with people. If you're going to talk about a prostitute, it works.
It fits perfectly. Now, something, I love Jim Broadbent. I'd like the record to show I love Jim Broadbent, the actor, right? Something I realized was enough to make me become a eunuch and never want to have sex again in my life. Something that I never need in my life ever again. Jim Broadbent singing like a virgin. Not something I need. Don't need that in my life. Not at all. Now, all of the creative choices in Moulin Rouge just fell flat for me. It didn't work. And I didn't like the choice of songs they used. I hated the aesthetic of it. Like, I know what to expect with a Baz Luhrmann movie. I've just got to look at the trailer of Elvis and it's a Baz Luhrmann movie. You can see his producer imprint on La La Land. You can see what he does in The Greatest Showman. When, like with Tony Scott, The Nitty Gritty, when you are watching a Baz Luhrmann movie. It is, but this was so in your face. It was so fast. It was just, I mean, I've heard Elvis is a bit like this, where you feel like you just like, slow down, let me breathe, right?
The beginning is, and then it slows down. And when it does slow down, you're like, can we get on with it? And that's the weird bit about Elvis's pace. The only thing I hate
pacing
about
issues.
Pacing. Yeah.
So Moulin Rouge, it's constant, as you know. It's just like, can I please breathe? Like, it's too much what's going on. And the story of too much isn't good enough. What was interesting is that the one song they did that was, I believe it was original song, Come What May. When they did that, I was like, okay, well, that's really good. Why am I not getting more of that? That's really good.
I get it.
And then the ending, you know, where the fucking play and the play out of her confessing her love to him through the play and choosing him over, you know, the fictional Maharaja, which symbolizes the Duke and all that. I was like, it's nice, but it's not making me go, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Oh, that greatest love story.
It was sweet. It
was fine. I wouldn't even call it sweet. It was so whatever for me to even call it sweet. But then the big whole, she's literally dying in his arms, and she's getting, no, she's not. We knew the bitch was dying since Act 1. Like, where's the fucking heartbreak? I literally got off and I was like, they must have had a lot of fun making this movie. The aesthetic, well, okay, here's where I can butt slam Big Toe. And he's like, well, that's your opinion, bruv. Here's where I can butt slam him, because here's where, you know, when we were at Den's house and we were talking about the difference between objectivity and subjectivity, and the fucker couldn't wrap his head around it, and he was just like, but all opinion is subjective. I'm like, no. Objectively, I can look at Moulin Rouge and say, this is a
Well, lost you. Tap your wire.
Sound check 1, 2.
Yeah, we're good.
Objectively, I can look at Moulin Rouge, a movie which subjectively I did not enjoy. Like, I probably will never watch it again, ever. That's my subjective opinion. I do not like the movie. Leave it. Let me rant.
It was just the Big Tone impression. But continue.
It's true, though. He's got a big, deep voice. And my subjectivity towards the movie is disdain. Don't like it. If someone said to me, do you recommend Moulin Rouge? My personal opinion, no. Objectively,
yeah,
it's well made. The editing is sharp. The fucking costumes are incredible. The song numbers are good. The lighting on it, actually, the lighting, I have to say, even I like, despite the fact that I didn't like the movie. What they did with lighting, creating the halo light around the face, I was like, that's a trick they don't do in Hollywood enough anymore. They always want to fucking fill the light in post-production. I'm like, if you've got a fucking lighting stage, just do the lighting. And this is what I think Big Tone and I will always differ, because I legitimately don't think he goes looking for those sort of things. That doesn't mean I'm more intelligent than him or anything.
No, but it's a different view on certain things. I remember
on certain things.
Coincidentally, Moulin Rouge was in my media studies, one of the first films my teacher put on. We never finished it. But I always remember looking at camera angles, because that's what I was being taught in media studies.
Right.
I remember after that, it was just watching even, again, EastEnders, because that was another thing we watched. It was like, so this angle, that angle, how it was shot. You start to study stuff in a different way because of what you do. Whereas if you are just a film fan, and I'm not saying it in a bad way because it's just that, but if you don't study film, but you just appreciate film and give your values on it, there's nothing wrong in that. I actually applaud it. I remember when I was watching,
because you don't see the bullshit that I see, which is a good thing.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is getting on my fucking nerves. I just want to enjoy the movie. Why am I checking the angles? Like, I get it. I fully get it.
There are things I saw in this movie, knowing that I didn't like this movie, where I was like, okay, well, in terms of how a movie should be made, yeah, it's done it. And it's done it well. Their creative choices, pretty much on any level, did not work for me personally. Why, I don't know. That's where the subjectivity of a human's individual opinion comes into the equation here, right? You can't always explain why something moves you so much. Like, I've told people why I love La La Land. I can't explain why it moves me to the degree it does. That's our own personal life experiences and all that. Equally, I can't explain what Anya loved Moulin Rouge. Like, I said to her at the end, kind of like the opposite No Time to Die. I said to her, I was like, I really fucking wish I loved that. I really want to like that. It ticks all the boxes for me. It's a musical. It's Baz Luhrmann. It's in your face. It's artistic. It's avant-garde. All the things that Nico Lurot should like. And I'm like, why do I not like it? Why is it not working? And, it's frustrating. It's like, I want to love it. Why is it not working for me? And she scored a 10 out. Honey, I'm really sorry. That's probably going to go down as one of my favorite movies. I'm like,
I love you guys because it's the perspective you guys have on stuff are so different, and it's not between you two. It's per film. So like we'll take The Matrix, which we're like, yeah, fucking kick-ass movie. She's like, oh, so The Power of Love is what brought back Neo. And I'm like,
which is right. She is right.
I'm not saying she's wrong, but it's like it's more than just appreciate the fucking movie. Like, forget the nitty-gritty last endings. Just appreciate the film. And it's just these bits that you guys can't unsee and which troubles you guys. I'm just like, I fucking love you guys. But it is what it is. It's great.
But like with Civil War, it was like a milli. It was a constant thing. Like I was like, okay, cool. Fuck, I'll park that. Again, like with Civil War, fine, one thing, I'll park it. It was constant. I don't like that way that's being portrayed. I don't like that editing choice. I don't like that musical choice. I don't like this musical number. I don't like the way this. It was like constant. I was like, Ugh.
The funny thing with Moulin Rouge, as I said, for me, I started it so many times because I studied in media studies, and then I finally watched it. I can't remember what we would. I think it was musicals that came up for me, and I appreciated it. And I just took it for. So this is the angle that it's weird. The musical choices to me is so this is the angle they're doing. They're doing the wacky and they're mixing up times. And when I was able to accept that, I appreciated it. But had I not, it's the drop of a coin. Either I'm gonna love it or I'm not gonna hate it. And I think I just ended up on a kind of, I accept it. Whereas on the other side of me, had I chose to be like, what the fuck are you doing? I would have been exactly on your train, bro.
Yeah. And objectively, I cannot emphasize this enough. By the way, guys, I'm seeing the comments here. No, I'm not seeing enough people dropping their either their top 10s or their like Rushmores. Please comment below. I want to see what people are picking for saddest movie endings. It just didn't work for me. And the whole, like, the thing that people praise about it is the magic of that, of that heartbreaking death scene of Satine. And by the way, that's the other thing I didn't like. I fucking hate Nicole Kidman. Jesus Christ.
You have some respect for Dr. Chase Meridian.
Oh, that's one of the reasons I hate her.
Just leave her alone.
No.
I've not watched enough Nicole Kidman, so I'm not going to jump to her.
You know why she's perfect for the Stepford wife? Because I think she is a Stepford wife. Swear down, Nicole.
I know one thing she did do that I just couldn't get into.
Oh, she's so robotic.
But again, it's not her. I also feel Will Ferrell didn't help.
Never does.
I couldn't. Bewitched. I love the TV series. Couldn't get into the film.
No. Ewan McGregor, I thought, was really good in this. John Leguizamo was good. There was a number of them who gave solid performances. The movie as a whole was objectively good. It was well made. Did not resonate with me, and that ending just made me go, why are people getting sad that he's watching her die? We've known since the first 10 minutes that bitch is going to die. She literally coughed up blood after the first musical number. It's like, spoiler, she dies. This isn't a revelation or a surprise.
Yeah, but you just hope for happy endings.
Nah, you know she's dying.
I know.
It's a Baz Luhrmann movie. You know bitch is dying. I'm like, I know this director, and you've just shown me the ending now in the first 10 minutes. Let's get there. Entertain me while we get there.
Fair plays.
Yeah, Gavin says, no Philadelphia for AJ. I'm surprised as well.
So, Philadelphia, I respect it for the great acting talents that are in there. I think I said it the last time I said it. I need to rewatch Philadelphia. It's been a minute. And with that, I'm not saying I don't remember the ending, because I do, but it hasn't hit me enough for me to be like, well, I just remember powerful moments and thought-provoking moments. The ending, bit of a blur.
Well, let's talk about my number 2 then, and your number 1.
What's better? I mean, again, it's one of those.
Don't say better.
Grave of the Fireflies. I remember you recommending this movie and saying it's gonna hit hard. And my bottom 3, bro, as I said, I could have mixed them in any given way, and I'm not too sure what would have been number 1. And I think it took a lot for me to not put Boy in Striped Pajamas at number 1. I kind of held back because I was like, you've just watched this. Literally watched not last night before, and I'm like, it's fresh, it's sticking to you. And then I had to really dig deep to remember the emotions I had for this film. Now, what happened with Grave of the Fireflies that really sticks to me? I watched it in Japanese with subtitles.
Good.
I have the opportunity to be able to change the language with the copy that I have of this film. And I remember that irrelevant of English or Japanese, that young girl's voice just melts you. Both voice actors are absolutely golden for this film. And it's this bond, it's this challenge, it's this uphill battle. And I think what got to me more with this film is the other two, you've got a parent. This is a young brother doing as much as he can to just step up.
And it just gives you this false fucking hope.
Yeah, and this is the thing. It's this false hope. He's doing absolutely everything. And you know, I think, you know, we keep saying kids. I think when it came to Grave of the Fireflies, it's kids squared. Do you know what I mean? He's done everything. And it's when she starts to say, I don't feel well. And again, you can listen to this in either language. And you just, the heartbreak of when she goes, I'm just like, no.
So bad.
And
him trying to revive her with the fruit drops and everything. It's actually going to kill me. It's so fucking heart-wrenching, this film. Like, it's not going to make the Rushmore for the simple basis that we've put it on a Rushmore once in the past and it got obliterated on the basis that I think people just have not seen this film.
I will go with that. I would go with that.
It is such a fucking hard watch. I own the DVD and I'll probably never play it.
It's tough. It hurts.
It's so harsh.
Like, it's a tough film. It is a tough film.
Bro, the toughest. It would be my number one were it not for my favorite movie being in this category, you know? But there's very little that can compete with how hard Grave of the Fireflies hits you because it's literally an emotional roller coaster. It gets sad, goes up, gives you a little bit of hope, but it gets sadder, comes up a little bit, gives you a little bit, it goes down even further, then it comes up just to kind of above the
just enough to give you that last hill to go over.
Boom, it's gonna fuck you again. It's like, stop, asshole.
Yeah,
it's terrible, man. Like what happens to these two kids is fucking awful.
It is. And it's, you know.
Then just before he dies, there's the Fireflies and they're happy together. No, fuck you, burn.
I am big bro, you know. I am big bro. I am an older brother to two, and I'm familiar with what it means to step up for your youngers. And like, you admire this guy so much for like just trying. He's absolute. You know, we talk of dad of dads. This is brother of brothers. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like he's giving it his all, but sadly, just short of being enough. You know, that's the pain of this movie.
And it's, you know, the saddest movie and the greatest film you'll only ever need to see once, and this dickhead saw it twice.
I think I'm gonna watch it again. I know I shouldn't, but it's one of those things. One,
bro, it's even harder the second time. It's harder the second time because you see it coming earlier.
Yeah, I believe.
But the first time you don't know that's coming because of the false hope. So the shock of when it happens fucks you up. When you know it's coming, it's weird. It's worse.
I believe that.
Because the very first time where she's like, my tummy's upset, I'm like, oh no.
I believe that. Yeah.
It's starting already. Oh no. It's you visualize the end in your head already, like, stop. But I don't think it should be on the Rushmore because the internet has not seen it. And we tried Vegetane once and they gave us a middle finger.
Bro, I get that.
Right, let's talk about your number 6, my number 1. Nico's favorite movie of all time, The Green Mile. Something is wrong with me. Something is very, very, very wrong with me for me to make this my favorite movie of all time.
Bro, it's the emotions. If you're gonna get an emotional hit from something, it's gonna do that. I remember until someone, and I'm not gonna say it's my favorite movie of all time, but I had such an affinity for Serendipity because I just loved the way it all worked out in coincidences. Someone said, but he's got a chick, and like it kind of killed the buzz. But sometimes it's not for what it is. It's the magic you get from this film. Now, the reason Green Mile is number 6 for me, I appreciate the ending being very sad. I appreciate the film.
Which one? There's 2 sad endings in it.
Yeah, this is also very true.
No, it's 3 actually. Technically, there's 3 sad endings in it.
My beef with this film, which started to lose me with the film, was the spray. Yeah, the spewing, and this is where I started to lose it from the film. I'm not saying R.I.P. There's a big man whose name
Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah, Michael Clark Duncan. Like, stellar performance. Tom Hanks, stellar. Like, there's no shit actors in this film.
My boy Sam Rockwell is in this too. Remember?
Yeah. But it's like, because of that, it took me away from the movie. Kind of like your beef with Moulin Rouge. Like, I appreciate it's a good movie. You appreciate it's a good movie.
No. It's not a good movie. It's a great movie.
Great movie. Like, what I'm getting at is, for me, it just dampened the mood of the film. I was like, I get supernatural. I get the...
He's a miracle. You have to remember that. Stephen King had an obsession on both sides of the coin of religion. And this is him using religion as a vessel to not show it the way he did in The Mist, which is kooky fucking humanitarian religion, actual supernatural religion.
Bro,
this is a miracle. This man is the physical embodiment of a gift from God. If you prescribe to that, the movie works.
Bro, you know my thing with it, and I think it's the perception of a miracle, you know. And I'm not talking about your TV preachers, but essentially, let's look at that. You always wonder, you know, it's that mystique of it, and I think that's how I would have preferred it. If it was, this guy appears to be curing people, but we can't prove it. I think I would have embraced that more than seeing a genuine fact that he's there and this spewing of what it is. Just like it just doesn't work for me. And I get it. It's a miracle. This is the way Stephen King wishes to portray it, but it just bugged the crap out of me.
I get that. And it's very hard to literally explain what are they? Are they flies? Are they fireflies? Grave of the Fireflies. Are they flies? Are they fireflies? Is it meant to be evil? Is it meant to be sin? Is it meant to... To me, all the above are correct.
Yeah, bro, I get it.
And it's one of those things. It's a bit like when we were at Den's house arguing about like, but fucking comics and universes and Earth 616. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. It's the sort of thing that I'm not going to give much credence to because it doesn't change the overall arch of what I'm experiencing. Like with here, symbolically, I get what those, let's call them flies, what they represent. He has literally sucked impurity and evil out of something and unleashed it. And he's suffering as a result of that. The symbolism of what it is more than enough for me without the need for me to go down but what are they? Now, if you get granular, and God knows I'm guilty for getting granular most of the time. Moulin Rouge, I'm looking at you. If you get granular, sure, it's going to bother you 100%. If you are able to not get granular with it and just take it symbolically.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. And I tried to.
I can't force you to take a thing the certain way.
You know what it is?
Like, I could offer you anal, you would kindly decline. You know what I'm saying?
Do you know what it is? Is that...
Wow, no reaction to that. Okay.
Sorry, because I'm coming up to an explanation. What? Repeat yourself?
No, I said I could offer you anal, and you would probably kindly decline. You know,
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I can't force you to take something away you don't want to take it.
Let's keep it that way. And just for the record, at no point has Nico ever offered that.
Nope, never gonna happen. Love him like a brother. We're not into sodomy.
Right, there we go.
Or incest. Incest in the morning.
Anyway, it's one of those things that where like Moulin Rouge, and I'm just going to use this for the example. Moulin Rouge had this area where I took the first contemporary song in an old age, and I was like, okay, that's what you're doing. I don't know how I feel about it. By the second time, I'm like, okay, this is what you're doing. It's not a one-off. I accepted it. The first viewing, I was like, huh? And it kept coming, and I was like, it's not working. I just couldn't unsee it, and that's what it is.
Noted. No anal for AJ.
Anyway.
The penis got me. I'm with AJ. No anal for AJ. I think that's a new one.
Do we really have to go there?
No anal for AJ. No anal, please. We're British, says Francis. Very good.
I love the passive aggressive jab there. Like, yeah, fuck
yeah. Oh, it's there. Well, there's a lot to laugh at the Brits about. It's fine. But look, there's three. What's interesting about the endings is that graphically, they get less and less and less bad. The message they're conveying gets harder and harder and harder to absorb because, you know, the first tragic ending, which is the death of John Coffey, you know, when they have to electrocute Michael Duncan because they obviously can't prove. They know he's a miracle. They know that they're essentially killing the work of God here. But they're powerless to stop anything. So there's an interesting dichotomy, you know, between church and state. And obviously they're implying in this case that state wins. Fine. But it's the human side of him when they're going to put the blind over him and he says, don't turn the light off. It's like, oh God. And that tremble in Tom Hanks' voice when he says, roll on too. Oh, and you know that they had to kill him. And then obviously it cuts back to when he's older. And then comes the second nasty part of the film when he takes his friend up to that cabin in the woods. And who comes out of a little matchbox?
The mouse.
That's what you see my voice tremble there. That's what gets me I'm fucking welling up. That's what gets me every time. Fucking Mr. Jingles. Every fucking time I see that mouse, it breaks me. And then I'm watching this, I'm like, it's a mouse playing with a thimble. Why is it hurting me so badly?
It's the spirit, bro.
It's the spirit. It's the fucking spirit. And then it ends with that monologue, and it's just an old man lying in bed questioning if he could make a mouse live that long, what's he done to me? Yeah. And you realize in that moment that he has got the worst of worst curses. He is cursed to live out all of his loved ones and see them all die. And that is the point why I lose it in the movie and I break down and cry every time. Because that's you know, when I lost my great grandmother, that fucking broke me, as it did with your grandmother. And like, man, we all know what it's like to have to bury those that you love. Yeah. There's nothing worse. There's just nothing fucking worse. And the fact that this is the curse that he's been left with when he's ultimately been a good man throughout the movie, but just the notion of having to live through that, it breaks me. Every fucking time I hear that, it breaks me.
Oh, I get it.
Cry like a baby every fucking time.
I get it, bro. I get it. It's because the film dampened for me. It just, but 100% get it. So, do you get this reference? Because the only thing that's coming to my mind is Wizard of Oz, which I wouldn't say has a.
I think Red Shoes is an actual movie. I think it's.
I was wondering. So, Francis put Red Shoes.
I think it's a 1937 movie.
Okay. Unfortunately, Francis, for me, Red Shoes is unseen. That's why I went for the red emerald shoes, which I'm going to apologize for because I'm sure a few people are laughing at me right now. But hey, c'est la vie. I'm here every Tuesday for it.
Let's Rushmore this bad boy. There's a few people have sent in some list. And the text says, number 10, Marley and Me.
Have you seen Marley and Me?
No, I haven't. I don't do dog deaths.
Oh, bro. I don't own pets, and I've always respect animals for what they are. You know me, I'm a bit uncomfortable, and it takes me a while to warm up to them. Watching Marley and Me is such a heartbreaker. It was meant to be on my list. I knew there was a film I wanted to add. It was Marley and Me. Absolute heartbreaker of a film. Man and his best friend told me.
Yeah. Can't do it. 9, Selena. 8, The Color Purple.
Selena was a touch. Yeah.
7, Toy Story 3. 6, same as me, Boys Don't Cry. 5, Forrest Gump. I've always said Forrest Gump just falls short of being sad for me. 4, Philadelphia. 3, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. 2, My Girl. 1, The Green Mile. Then The Tech.
I've not seen Green Mile. I was going to watch it for this episode, and I'm still not.
What do you mean you've not seen The Green Mile?
My Girl.
Oh, My Girl. I've not seen The Green Mile. I said,
I'm literally bouncing off of you talking about
this. Is what I'm saying. I was like, have you just had a brain fart there? Francis Lon says, My Rushmore, Brian's song from 1971, Grave of the Fireflies, yep, The Red Shoes, and Limelight. So there's your answer. It is Red Shoes is a movie. Okay. Gavin Mann says, 10, Hell in the Pacific, 9, Bicycle Thieves, 8, When the Wind Blows, 7, The Perfect Storm. Perfect Storm, really? 6, Frankenstein. 5, Imitation Game with Benedict Cumberbatch. Great shout. 4, About Schmidt. 3, I, Daniel Blake. 2, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. 1, The Father. The Father, that was a recent one, isn't it? I need to watch that. Riri Thomas says, My Rushmore, Boys Don't Cry, The Green Mile, Life is Beautiful, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. Right, well, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas is going on. Gavin Mann says, The Mist, Boy in the Striped Pajamas, Grave of the Fireflies, and one other non-Titan for the Rushmore.
Here's the thing. Gavin is pretty much... so, Boy in the Striped Pajamas...
It has to go on. The Mist, I would really want to be on.
Well, if you insist that JT is like...
JT seemed pretty fucking adamant. Like...
So here we go.
We have 2.
Oh, bro, I don't want to say I hate the fact that I really want you to watch this film because it's a tough one, but I understand why a man can't watch it.
Give me a few years. Fatherhood is still too fresh for me. I do not deal well with trauma to kids at the moment. So if we were to go down Gavin's idea of The Mist, Boy in the Striped Pajamas, and Grave of the Fireflies, the other non-Titan I would bat for would probably be Boys Don't Cry.
This is the one I was going to go for. I was going to say Boys Don't Cry. Seems to have come up a few times. I believe I'd like to see that on there.
Okay. So my question to you, AJ, given that we've put Grave of the Fireflies on in the past and it's not done well, do we maybe...
By the way, Imitation Game, Gavin. I just remembered what that... Oh, that's the Cumberbatch film, isn't it?
Imitation Game.
Yeah. There's another film I'm thinking of with a similar name that I need to watch. As well as Imitation Game.
My thinking is instead of Grave of the Fireflies, because it's had its shot and I think it got 9% or something, like it was a proper disrespect. How about Life is Beautiful?
How did that do the last time?
I don't remember it going on.
I know
I'm
sure we've done it about top 10 Italian movies. I can't remember what else it may have.
I know we put La Dolce Vita, and I don't know if we put La Vita è Bella. No, we must have put La Vita è Bella. I don't remember is the answer. And that's many, 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 many tweets ago.
Bro, of course.
Put it this way. I think Life is Beautiful did better than Grave of the Fireflies.
Do we do the weekly? I put it out to people to pick their...
People on here know Grave of the Fireflies. Yes, this is the problem. When it goes to the wider Twitterverse, the people who are more passive movie fans, it's harder.
But this is why foreign cinema also scares me.
There's foreign... Well, Grave of the Fireflies is a foreign cinema, yes?
I know, but this is what I'm saying for both of them. Because I'm like, Life is Beautiful. We're like, oh, we're doing it a favor by eliminating one. It's like, okay, the Italian...
I don't think it's a favor. I think it's a viable contender and a more viable one than Grave of the Fireflies based on the fact that it's more known.
I'll give it a shot. Yeah? Life is Beautiful. Okay.
All right. Done.
Dan, I'm not going to lie. I'm reading that list. And I'm kicking myself with Marley and Me, which could have been a top 5. And I would have fought very hard for Marley and Me. Damn, that film had me in a way that I didn't think it. It's the best Wilson movie I've seen. See, here we go. Gavin's just put Life is Beautiful was on before. I don't think it fared well because there may have been a confusion over the Italian/English title. Oh, I think last time we did put La Vita Bella.
I can put Life is Beautiful then. Hey, your brother's in the house. What up? Hey, Tucky's joined us too. Titanic, $1 Million Baby, The Green Mile, About Time. I like The Green Mile being in there. Respect.
About Time. That's the time traveler movie, isn't it? With anyway, let's have a look.
Kevin Man JT hovering over the unsubscribe button while you debate The Mist. You know it's due.
About Time, I do.
Francis Lalonde says, I would really recommend watching both The Red Shoes from 1948 and Brian's Song from 1971. Okay, we'll do.
Where's my to-see list? Here we go. What was it? Brian's song and the Red Shoes.
Yes.
The Red Shoes. And by the way, just for the record, because I am a man trying to keep to my my word, I am halfway through Good Will Hunting. So by next week, I'll have an answer on that one, and I'm going to try and do your one as well, Gavin.
Have you heard the monologue yet?
You don't know.
You must have if you're halfway through.
Is this the one where he's like talking about the wife in the painting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've done that.
How fucking good is it?
He hits it hard.
It's such a great monologue.
Yeah.
If I talked to you about war, you'd probably recite me a sonnet. Once more into the breach, dear friends. But you've never seen war. You've never held the man who you call your best friend, gurgling, dying from blood in his lungs while you watch life leave him. It's like,
yeah.
Robin Williams, you the man, motherfucker.
So we're doing Life is Beautiful, yeah?
I think so, yeah. And we'll keep it to the English name.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Great point, Tucky. Great monologue. Book smarts versus real life.
Yep.
Couldn't have said it better.
Real life wins every time.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official Movie Mount Rushmore of saddest movie endings in no particular order is
The Mist.
Our second entry is
The Boy in the Striped Pajamas.
Our third entry is
Boys Don't Cry.
our final entry into the Movie Mount Rushmore of sad movie endings is
Life is Beautiful. And coincidentally, one of the things that we mentioned, each one, the kids, like part of the Boys Don't Cry ending was the torture in front of the kids. Like, damn, man.
Them kids, man. So Francis Lawn says, next week's topic. AJ, I wanted to pitch something to you. So we've got the top 10 hotel movies we were toying with,
Which can be shelved. Yeah.
Can be, or we can roll with it if you want. One which requires a bit of research, but I don't think necessarily requires so much viewing. Yeah, but will require a bit of research. So Jordan Peele, not a fan. But this is his third movie. So I was spitballing and thinking top 10 third movies from a director.
Yeah.
Gonna be a varied fucking list.
I mean, it can be. Yeah.
Scorsese ain't making it. Telling you that for a given.
Well, because I know his third film is. So, yeah.
Nolan may not make it. Spielberg may not make it. It gets interesting.
If it's that fucking xylophone movie.
Do you not like Close Encounters of the Third Kind? You're such a weirdo.
Oh, me?
Yes, you.
Okay.
Yes, you.
Mr. I can't unsee it. I hate it. Yeah, okay. That is personal.
No. Mr. I can't unsee it, and you keep making me see shit that I can't unsee. It's too much.
So
Where did he get the Bucky Barnes mask? Fucking Halloween shop.
Gavin has said, "Oh, I like. You know what? So this is an interesting question because feature length would eliminate.
Yes. So in the scope of Nolan, the first film wouldn't count.
Okay. You know what?
Not only feature length film, theatrically released feature length film.
Could be an interesting topic. Pretty sure there are lists for references out there. Top 10. Top 10 third film, but films from a third film from a director.
Third films from a director.
It gives me a bit more time. I just hope you know what, just pick the directors you know the third films on. It works. Yeah. All right, we can do that.
Are you okay with that?
I'm good. Like I'm still, yeah. Listen, each week it somehow works.
AJ reserves the right to send me a WhatsApp message by Friday and say, I would like to do hotel movies.
Which is still just like 4 minutes off as well. So we're all good. Like, either way, we're... Francis, I swear to God. Pod Squad, you need to come in just to read these comments live and no, we're not faking it. Would that include pornos from early years for directors?
No, but I would certainly like to do top 10 porno movies from directors before they were famous. That's a great viewing week.
It could be. I mean, it should be, but...
Backdoor Sluts 9!
It's a South Park reference if you want it.
What was the other one? What is it?
Are we looking for porno names here?
Call of Booty, Modern Warfare.
Call of Booty, Modern Warfare, my personal favorite, In Diana Jones and the Temple of Poon.
We're not making this up.
Harry Potter becomes Harry Twotter. Very good. School of Rock. You know why I'm going with that.
We know where we're going with that one. Oh, dear. But no, that probably won't be one because we block the port every week. We can't advertise the port.
3 Billboards is a third movie. Oh, if it is. Woo-hoo! That's getting a question mark right next to it.
Third film from a director. All right, it's cool. I will make it work. We will make it happen. It's what we do.
It's what we do, yo. It's what we do. And I'll tell you what else we do. We drink coffee. Lots of coffee.
We advertise coffee. I'm not going to lie.
We advertise coffee. We advertise you buying us coffee. And we do that by putting this little pin up. buymeacoffee.com/movie dudes. Do you like us? Have we made you laugh? Have we made you smile? Have we talked enough about penises on this episode? Have I managed to avoid my inadvertent racism this week? Have I satisfied your cravings for British idiots being British and idiotic? If so, please support us for less than the price of your daily Starbucks for £2 British, not US dollars. Psh, British pounds. Per. Saying per really loudly. I don't know why.
Pounds.
Per. Don't know why I'm doing that. But yeah, buymeacoffee.com/movie dudes. If you like our content, you can support us. The money gets reinvested back into the show. No expectation, but it just goes to show you like us and we love you guys too. So yeah, link to that down in the description below, video and podcast.
Right. And again, guys, because after you told me I done it wrong, I need to make sure I get it right this week. Right. If you know people, you guys are either Live Squad, you may even be VOD Squad. Hell, you could be Pod Squad and you're talking to people about, I'm listening to this podcast. What are you listening to? Be sure to tell them. The movie Mount Rushmore, baby. It's 2 hours plus of fun every Tuesday. Don't know when you get it on pod versions, but they're here every week. And where can you listen to them? Absolutely everywhere, because we are available on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, Tune In, Stitcher, Geo7, and just search for Movie Mount Rushmore. We're everywhere, baby. Spread the word. Drink it in.
Tuna is a thing of the past.
Tuna, yeah. Do you know what? I think that's what we'll have to do for Buy Me a Coffee. Bring back Le Champion. Drink it in, man. That's gonna
bring back Le Champion.
So that's the one. But guys, absolutely, it's a pleasure. The words "thank you" are meant every week, so I truly do appreciate everyone, as does Nico. I know this. Also, please do head on over to Movie MT Rushmore, but more importantly, at Movie Poll for You, because good old JT's there, and we put his movie in, so he's still going to be supporting us. So the love continues, and you're all part of La Familia. Spread the word. Let's make it happen. So until the next time, I am the one AJ.
I'm Nico Lurot. See ya.
We're out. See ya.